All right, we will cut that last minute short and get going for tonight. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Evindale, and welcome back to Branching Out. So Bramble and Mortimer are still at it, and this time we have artwork for Barbara, or at least tentative artwork. If anybody else wants to create art, you totally can. Barbara is a little leaf Leshy. Well, no, it's just a Leshy, right?
She's technically a Leshy familiar, but she's a Thistle Leshy.
Thistle Leshy. Okay, so with Thistle Leshy, and so the thorns of the thistle are the quills. So we kind of have art for that. So I'm actually excited about that.
Me too. I can't see you, by the way.
I know why. I know why. And there we go.
It's okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Crazy for making incredible Barbara artwork. The only reason we're not using it is because it doesn't translate well into a token, but it looks really freaking cool.
Oh, yes. Absolutely want to. And besides, what we have is just until we do have something that fits into a wee little token. So that's it. But yes, definitely, we want to use user artwork and fan art gallery stuff. Speaking of, if we go to intermission, it's not going to have a fan art gallery tonight. I just ran into a small technical problem on my side, and I was like, let me do it right the first time and not rush it. So next week we will have the fan art gallery, like we will for the other two streams this week. Having said that, Bramble's been undergoing a little bit of a problem. How you doing?
Which one?
I know. But first off, how are you? How's your character? How are you feeling about this? And can you give us a brief recap?
Okay, so I'm good. Thanks for asking. Bramble's good. She's now level 5.
Ta-da!
And yay! And and she took a heal spell. For those of us who follow along with Bramble's spell acquisition story, she gets spells from the experiences she has with the monsters she meets. But her best friend, or one of her best friends, her basilisk mount Mortimer, almost died last episode.
Yeah.
So she went to bed really, really sad and woke up with heal. So now she knows how to be a little bit more effective. And yeah, so we were going to go to see the Royally Riders, and we went through this forest and came across sounds of something mean and nasty, and she turned into a tree, threw Barbara up in a neighboring tree, carried Mortimer up into the canopy, and Mortimer fell victim to non-consensual witnessing of owlbear mating.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Had to deal with that, and then
it was like at the base of the tree. It's just like boom, 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 boom. The whole tree's like.
Oh my god. Anyways, we were all violated. And then Mortimer found 2 ways that we can go to the Royally Riders, either through a hill, like a hilly pass, or through a mountain pass. And we decided to avoid the lovebirds, so to speak.
Yeah, the hill. That's right. A lot of owlbears were found on the hills, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then we went through the mountains, but some of them, or one of them, followed us, and we had a huge fight. Mortimer was like flayed open like a fish, and we barely made it.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for all the bits. And Heal a Hero.
Yeah, it was not good. Exactly. Yeah, all the channel points. So if you guys want to support the stream, or more to the point, become a part of it, you can use channel points. It's free. Go check out down below. If you've been watching for a while, you can drop like 5,000 channel points in order to heal a hero, and then it's a D10 times the hero's level. So right now it'd be 5D10 for Bramble. So by all means, become involved. You can also toss in there whatever NPCs are saying, etc. Just for story purposes. Sometimes I don't use that information, mainly because I'm concentrating on what Erin is saying. But sometimes I will look over in chat, and if I happen to see something that you guys are doing And it sounds awesome, which is like the vast majority of the time, it's better than anything I can come up with. I will absolutely incorporate whatever it is that you guys are saying. Sometimes highlighting the message in chat will also help. So by all means. But either way, if you do want to support it financially, you can throw biddies. And then if we touch on a hype train, here's how that works. If you get if you even touch on a level, the player then receives a modifier for that level. So if you touch on a level 1 hype train, for example, Bramble and the NPCs also receive a +1 modifier to anything that they want. If you hit a level 2, that's a +1 and a +2. And then they also get rerolls on top of that. So it's, if you want to influence the stream and the course of events of the story, you absolutely can, but you can also do it for free. And that is the most important thing, is that don't feel compelled to spend money just to have fun. That's horse shit. This is a game. So let's leave it as that. It's a hype train in my heart. It is a hype train in your heart.
Aw, it is.
Yay, Apple. Thank you for that. Alrighty, let me see here. Just double checking. Okay, cool.
Do we have any mods in chat?
Do we have any mods in chat? I don't believe so. Oh, no, we don't have any mods in chat.
I was gonna say, can somebody shout out Apple?
Oh yeah, 100%. I will right now. Apple Glass. So
everybody follow Apple Glass. They're amazing, and they're in our
Holy
Seekers of the
fuck.
Fall campaign on Thursdays.
Seriously amazing. Fucking, they are just absolutely incredible. And go check them out on their channel. You know the routine here on Evindale. Go show people Evindalian love. Okay, Evindale love. But yes, exactly as you said, they'll also be here on Thursday for the Seekers of the Fall campaign, which is proven to be a tremendous success. Loving it. It's like we've had the most views for those of you who are watching, who watch it. Thank you, seriously. And if you're not aware, Thursdays 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Seekers of the Fall. 6-person campaign. It's fucking huge and it's awesome. And these people are just fucking amazing. And of course, on Wednesdays, 2 days from now, Kill City Sinners, a cyberpunk jaunt, which is like for the best damn players. It's just the best table that I've never been someone who counted myself as lucky. I count myself as lucky. I get to do this 3 times a week with some of my favorite people on this fucking planet. So actually, all of my favorite people on this fucking planet. So yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. So thank you guys for everything, including just watching and being a part of it. If what you were watching, wait, what? Hold on, Crazy. What is Crazy saying here? But before we get going, I'd like to say I do want to give a shout out to everyone who is in stream and chatting. But let me see. If what you were watching could eat you, if you look away, might as well. If what you were watching could eat you, look away, might as well. At Jackal. Non-consensual voyeurism, love to see it or hate to see it. Right, talk about the fucking owlbears. Yeah. If what you're watching could eat you, you just might as well look away.
Yeah.
Apple wants to see me as a PC someday. So you will, actually.
You will.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Well, gosh, my computer is getting slow again.
You're kind of frozen a little bit here and there. Or not frozen, but you're jittering around.
I know. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Okay, it should be good in a little bit.
Is it Foundry?
No, it's Chrome.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, my God,
it's because I have all 26 of my
tabs
open from work. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so on Wednesday, after we finish this season of Kill City Sinners, I will be DMing and Steve will be playing. So yay!
I know.
And if you like Twin Peaks, you'll love it.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing. My love, you are. Oh, hold on. Say something after you take a sip.
This is me saying something after I take a sip.
You are out of sync.
Okay, let me close down Foundry really quick because it could be the animated map.
Oh, hold on. You're back. Yeah.
I closed down Foundry.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have an animated map tonight. We do have a map, but it's not animated, so maybe that was it.
Okay, I'll open it up after, like in a little bit.
Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because it's Erin GMing is a treat in and of itself, and you can imagine Erin's vibe. I mean, it's like, no, your vibe is awesome though. It's like cozy and warm, and then it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, that's a good vibe.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's so it's pretty bad.
Yeah, every NPC is romanceable when Erin DMs.
So,
and I mean every NPC.
Quick little story for that for everyone else here involved. Before we get going tonight, so I ran a campaign. It was a one shot.
One opportunity.
Yeah, the one shot, one opportunity. So I threw a fucking giant centipede out at them. It's poisonous. It's all sorts of icky, right? And I'm figuring it's in a dark ass cave, and they have to rescue somebody else behind that centipede. Blah blah blah. This one's character comes over and fucking marries it.
Yeah, I'm done. My character came over and was like, I can fix him.
Yeah, the most toxic thing that can ever be in a fucking relationship. I just see people that I can fix. Just, and this one loves me. Alrighty. Anyway,
he just works really hard.
Just fucking, I'm done with that. I'm so done with that. It's just anyhow. All right, my love, my eternal. Are you ready?
Yes, I got my cards. I'm ready to go.
I need my cards. Hold on. Where are my cards? My cards were put away. Hold on.
Yeah, you told me to. He was like, "Can you put the cards away, please?" And I said, "Yes."
Yeah, somebody put them away.
Put the cards away.
I don't know who they could possibly be.
Who is it? Who did that?
Who the fuck does that?
Must have been your other girlfriend.
My other partner. Hold on. Which is entirely possible. I mean, I'm just saying. And if anyone is ever in. Nope, not the time. Okay.
I can't believe you're defending yourself.
I'm defending polyamory is what I am defending.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't say anything about that. Okay.
Okay. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Okay. The decks are all set.
Yes.
Mahana Bunny?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mahana Bunny?
Yes.
Are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
Okay. Then let's turn it up. Out there on a mountain cliff face, 2 days passed. Mortimer, as you had put it, had been flayed open. You also suffered really tragic wounds. Over the course of time, you managed to nurse your friend back to health. Barbara, for the most part, your trusty Leshy familiar, has been, for the most part, untouched. However, you two were worse for wear. The owlbear had done its job, but also now lay still and silent, as it has been for the past 2 days. After that time, Mortimer got up and with one of his 8 legs, kicked it off the cliff. When he came back and he addressed your comment of, you can go home, I understand if you don't want to do this, this is my mission, this is not yours. He turned around and he told you in a very Samwise Gamgee type of fashion, I'm here to
Mr. Frodo.
Mr. Frodo. And
Bramble.
Miss Bramble.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you.
And then he just goes, all right, get on the saddle. And then, get on. Because he's a mount anyway. So the days then passed. And this was a journey that absolutely was a long, or is a long and arduous one. I'm vamping until I open up my notes because I rebooted my computer like a good streamer before I began, and therefore I'm just now beginning to open up some stuff that I completely forgot about. Thanks,
you
ADHD.
honestly didn't have to say any of that, and I would have believed that you were just vibing.
I know. Wouldn't you believe that? You would believe that, but no, I'm an honest person. Anyway, So I can't quit you.
I can't.
Can't quit you. And
Oh my god.
So, as you, 3 days and nights have now passed. The air getting a little bit thinner as you continue up, and definitely the temperature dropping as you go. The narrow path also, the path narrows as you continue. Fuck, hold on. We're gonna do this again. Can we get the countdown back? I would like the countdown back. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome back to Evindale. How you doing, Erin?
Oh my god.
Anyway, the path narrows as you continue your journey. But as it does, it gets a little bit worse. Yet somehow you see marks on the walls, on the stone wall off to your right side. Taking a quick look at the marks, it looks like that they are tooled, but jagged tools here and there, as if something at one point or another had bit deep into it. Yet you see no evidence of what could have caused it. And this is also not really a place to stop. You continue. Mortimer's feet becoming increasingly unstable as loose pebbles start tumbling down the mountainside and disappear into the foggy abyss below. A single fall at this point will, in fact, spell death. The air has started to become thin and cold, carrying the scent of snow and stone. You must tread carefully here. Yet venture on you do, until finally it's time to rest. When you come to rest, can you quickly describe how you would set up camp in this kind of an environment?
Yeah, I think she would dig, like try to dig like a low
It's
pit.
stone everywhere. Stone.
It's not like
Not a lot of-
gravelly enough to dig underneath.
Not a lot of dirt. It's pretty much that. There's some gravel there. Sure, that will come with erosion. Absolutely. As like cliff faces fall, you'll find some gravel and stuff.
Okay, so like a mixture of like kind of like digging as deep as she can, and then like setting up stones around that area to protect them from. So if they're like, Mortimer's kind of like a light sleeper. He rolls around a lot, so this way he can press up against the rocks and not roll over.
Okay. Yeah, you do. And mind you, from nose to tail, the dude is like 13 feet long. I mean, he's a medium-sized creature in body only, the tail itself, but his neck sometimes can extend out, and he ends up curling up like a cat. And on more than one occasion, is it fair to say that it would almost be involuntary that he will just grab you and slowly pull you into his coils?
That's adorable.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or he does like a 8-legged loaf.
What is it? Oh.
The cat loaf where they put their feet underneath them.
Oh, he does
and
that.
they're just a loaf of cat, and he's just a loaf of basilisk, but with like 8 little bumps. I love him.
He's awesome. So, since his announcement that he was going to stick around with you for however long it takes, he's definitely taken on more of a protective stance, refusing to let you walk on the cliffside of the path, saying he literally has 4 times as many limbs as you do, or as many legs as you do. He has a better grip. And his argument is kind of sound, but how do you combat that kind of protectiveness, if at all?
Oh, absolutely. If he ever says that to me, I think she just sort of goes like, she puts her hands on her hips like superhero style, and all of her vines just go and then she's just like, how many limbs do you have? And it's like 15 vines coming out like Doc Ock style, like and And then she'll like walk backwards in front of him like and then like turn around and keep walking.
He just like looks down for a second, kind of he like stops, sits, raises his 4 front legs, looks at them, looks at the vines, looks back. All right, that's fine. I'm just gonna continue walking along this way then. I'm gonna go back home. I'm not needed.
And I think Bramble is just sort of like she won't ever let him see her smile, but she's really she thinks it's really sweet that he's so protective, but she's just like, okay, come on.
And you guys, you do continue. Sometimes the journey is on the quiet side. The sound of conversation, or the welcome sound of conversation, being replaced by the harsh blowing of wind through chasms down below. Now, far mountain peaks exist above you. You're nowhere near the top. And in fact, the passage through these mountains, as you both had decided on, was going to be the longer path, but it was going to be the shorter path rather than the hills down far, far down below. And yet, after all this time, it gets a little bit hairy. At one particular point, it's only this wide. Your vines clinging tenaciously to the cliffs, his 8 legs kind of squeezing along, doing the best that he can, his claws gripping onto whatever outsets of stone might actually be there. And yet there have been a couple of times when things got dangerous. May I have 5 athletics checks.
Holy moly. Okay. Athletics.
Is he actually wearing the owlbear head? That's right, he did kind of do something like that, didn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna correct you that when he kicked it over,
he did take the owlbear head.
I put it on his head.
You put it, yes,
Yeah.
Mortimer's head. Oh my God, can we please have that? Someone, please. This is a, oh boy, what would this be? This would be a basilisk wearing, kind of like,
a carved out corpse of an owl bear's head. Yeah, like fucking Psycho. Yeah.
Yeah, Psycho. He's not wearing the face.
Norman Bates.
He's not wearing the face. There's not a beak in front of his own muzzle.
It's Mortimer Bates.
It's the upper portion of the beak. It's like a lot. You know how you see like in like the old 80s B movies, the old sword and sorcery movies. I am here to defend the kingdom, and the barbarian comes out, and it's like wearing half of a lion's head.
Yeah,
with the 2 fangs like hanging down.
That would work if it weren't for when I said I cut off the owlbear's head and carved it out like a jack-o'-lantern and stuck the whole thing over his head like a bag. So it's not like an 80s sword and sandal movie at all. It's a fucking hellscape of an Erin situation. That's my improv. Follow me on Erin My Laundry. Anyways, I rolled a...
Wait, whoa, hold on, stop. Why am I the one being blamed? But Steve, 3rd Age of Evindale is supposed to be high fantasy, not dark fantasy like the 4th fucking age. Why is it all dark? Because of this one. This one's imagination makes it dark. I am merely reliving the nightmare of my life of being with the...
Please finish that statement with your whole chest while I read off these athletic checks. So for the folks in chat, I got a 16, 24, 26, 13, and a 20. And
wait, well, hold on. Wait, what? Wait, what?
You told me to roll
yeah, it's
5
okay. It's okay.
checks.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Okay, 16.
16.
And so yeah, and then 24.
And
then
okay.
26.
Hold on, I'm double checking something. Are you trained?
Yeah, I'm trained.
Are you an expert?
No, I'm trained. You know what? I want to actually double check my character sheet because last time in Seekers, my character sheet was all kinds of messed up on that.
Okay.
But while I check that,
yeah, I'm curious.
It says says I'm just trained and everything.
But you're not an expert in it. Okay.
Well, I'm looking. Hold on. Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's find out. I am an expert in mask making.
Apparently. KJ, meanwhile, is saying that they drew it.
KJ, what? Did you?
Did you seriously? Did you draw that? KJ, hold up.
Let me see. Ability scores. No. Skills, feats? No.
So you're just trained, right? Or yeah, you're not an expert. You're only trained, right?
I'm just checking really quick about that. Skills. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just trained. I'm not an expert.
Okay. All right.
Trained to expert cost. Oh, I don't have any skill points. Interesting.
Yeah, it may not. It's you don't always get that. But either way, moving forward. So
Yes.
your first hour of getting through the 5 hours of this horse shit, you have a 16. That's good. At one point, and it's during that very first hour, Mortimer's left claw slips off of it. Not a problem. It's been doing that this entire time. But when all 4 of his left side slip off and he has to turn around, he wraps his tail around the nearest thing, which just happens to be a little like 20-pound Leshy, and grabs with his right claws onto the edge. What do you do to assist him?
I think that I was on the side with my vines,
Yes.
and I like stretch off.
Oh.
Uh-oh, where'd it go?
I don't know. Oh, there you are.
Speaking from the void.
Oh, now you're down
what?
again. What the literal fuck? Okay, weird. All right, keep going. Keep going.
I like let go of like 4 of my vines and then like loop them around him and then try to pull him back towards me.
Not a problem. Thankfully, you do manage to grab onto him, and it's okay. The next hour, that was a 16. What do you have?
The next hour is a 24.
The two of you manage to find a small pass that kind of widens out to maybe about 5 feet or so. That's no problem. Mortimer's just kind of like squishing himself together. Usually he's got like a 6-foot span, but he's coming back in for this one. It's not too much of a problem. You guys managed to get through. You're fine. What's the third hour?
26.
Even better. By this time, you're kind of like, you're dancing the jig on his back, you're dancing with Barbara, while Mortimer's just like, dun, 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 and it's like, and just continues going down the way, the path even narrower, and it goes, hold on, hey, check this out, and kind of goes like up on its side, and goes like all along the side, and you guys like, you're doing Congo line on his back. What's the fourth hour?
Unfortunately, it's a 13.
Oh, okay. Well, Morty, let's have a die roll, please. Let me see here. Let me get this guy's thing going on. Where the fuck is the thing? I need the thing. There's the thing. Okay, here it is. So that's gonna be a 29. So.
Oh, okay.
You have a 13.
Uh-huh.
And he has a 29. That's more than 10 of yours. Okay. There's a point where the conga just kind of like grinds to a halt because all of a sudden Barbara's like and then kind of looks up. You're not there. Instead, you were clinging to the side. You failed your roll. Give me a reflex save.
Ah, okay.
This is to grab an edge, which is a thing you can do.
Reflex.
Yes.
The reflex is a 20.
Nice. You meant to hold on to it. He then turns around. He kind of like glances over and is like, I can't see you. I'm wearing blinders. But his tail like kind of whips down onto the edge, traces it until it taps into you, and then wraps itself around, and he's kind of like, come on, and he like puts you back up on the path. Fortunately, not too much peril, but let me just say, if this were a movie, I'm sure it would have been a hyped up 5 minutes. Oh my God, we're all going to die. And that was a 13. And what's the 5th hour?
20.
Yeah, not a problem. You end up going through this whole area over the course of that was just one day. This one winding narrow path that thankfully terminates. And it terminates it kind of drops off. However, about 15 feet down, you can see a path that has come up from the direction in which you are heading. And it appears that earth has been really tamped down. In fact, you swear you can see old stone slate or pressed rock into the ground, forming what could have been a road many centuries ago. Now, keep in mind, we're in the beginning of the Third Age. The Second Age was the time of God-King tyranny, and they ruled everywhere. They constructed massive magical empires everywhere, and completely under their tyrannical iron fist. So much of it didn't really touch this area. Most of them occurred over in the west and in the south. In this area, however, it looks like you're now beginning to see the presence of something that has existed here quite some time ago. Unfortunately for that civilization, whoever they were, they long since died out. Off in the distance now, as clouds begin to break, as rays of sun shine down far in the distance, still black storm clouds threatening snowfall down upon you, you can see what appear to be ruins at the down below on the foothills in the direction which you're hopefully going to be heading. So you've come to an area. You have about a 15-foot drop down in there. I'm assuming you guys just go down. He's 13 feet tall, so he'll just
I just shimmy down.
Yeah. You get down into this area. And for once, especially after what you just encountered and you holding on to something like a 4,000-foot drop beneath you, holding on, you got up. After all of this, you're finally stable. And a little bit warmer. There's still a climb that goes up the mountains that Mortimer's looking at. But he also sees down below, we could take this road. It's going to go a little bit further north than we would like. But the opportunity is go back up over that peak, and then we should be on the other side and head down into the Rider territory.
Morty, does it look like there's a lot of recent traffic through here? It looks kind of old.
Yeah, you kind of answer your own question. You look around. Nature has already reclaimed much of this, but whatever did exist here prevented much of the dirt from ever growing. Also, the winds are blowing loose dirt away, so it's not like the accumulation of dirt would have provided a new foundation for plants to take hold. No, it's just been bare rock this entire time, much of it thanks to the wind and the rains.
And there's ruins, like, right next to it?
Not right next to it, where what I just described is what you are now standing on. The ruins are down below in the foothills.
Ah, got it.
Far in the distance, yeah. You look over cliffs and what have you, and you can see way off in the distance. Honestly, it's a beautiful sight. You can't see much. Much of the mountain is still kind of... You're only able right now to look off to the north. The Zorley Riders, where you want to go, that whole territory is off to the east.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous about going north, Morty, because we'd be going towards like Citrus Kill territory, and that's where the lizard folks are, and they don't take kindly to Leshy, or at least the Leshy and Tearful Brag. So
he thinks about it for a second, and Citrus Kill is going to be far off to the west. The only thing north from here is going to be a big body of water, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's how far we are over. I didn't even realize we went that far east.
We've been traveling.
Okay.
We've been traveling for close to 4 days east now through mountains. And you brought me into that damn accursed place where the fairies were ghosts and all that. And that was not exactly a nice time. You had me meet you on the other side of that forest. And, all of that was in the northeast of your homeland. That's very far away from where I am. But, I mean, I was a storyteller. There's a couple things that I know, too. And, well, let's just say that Citrus Kills is going to be far off to the northwest.
Okay. Well, Mr. Storyteller.
Well, you tell me. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking I still really want to go talk to those Roily Riders. If we go north, we might as well just go up towards the bay and cut across up towards Daithgloam. So.
Well, we can. So here's by my estimations where we are. He finds a patch of dirt and draws in some mountains, including the path that you have taken so far from the west. As we can see here, you're now in an area that is a pass. As we zoom out, we kind of get a better idea. Let me make a quick check. Shit, I got a 20. That's fine. He draws out a fairly intricate, detailed map on whatever dirt or whatever there is, using his talon, whatever like keratin is coming off of that in the rock, leaving a white outline of a map illustrating this.
Okay.
So you can see we're quite a ways off.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm thinking, you said you wanted to go towards the capital. The hills would have been the quicker way, but the hills here to the north would have definitely been quicker, but we had to go through the pass. That's where all the owlbears lived. I don't... Somebody be sucking on my ribs right now if I didn't do, I'm just saying.
Okay. Do you want me to choose or not?
I'm just saying that I think that we ought to start heading back down, and maybe I think there's a path a little bit out to the northeast, and he shows you a couple of mountain peaks, one being right here, and one being right here on this hand-drawn map. Now, I could be wrong, but I think that there's a valley in between them. And he looks off in the distance and scampers down the way. I'll be right back. And he goes down, and you see him go around the mountain and whatnot. And about 20 minutes passes before he actually returns. Okay.
You said you'd be right back.
Well, it's all relative. Space and time being exactly what it is, if we can really start thinking about it.
Okay, what did you find?
Right, so there seems to be a pass in between... Well, you see that peak over there?
Yeah.
And right around the corner, there's another peak that you're able to see. And in between them, the valley down below, you can kind of get a hint of where it begins on the northern side there, and then it extends out to the south. And he's indicating this region here.
Okay.
I think we might be able to get down there and maybe, if we're lucky, not die. Owlbear jerky is not necessarily made of owlbear.
Okay, gross. I'm fine with that.
Well, what I mean to say is that they could eat something. Namely me and you, and you're mainly, you're like vegan diet, but I'm definitely for omnivores, and that's not something I'm just thinking that maybe that, I don't like that we can kind of cater to everyone here.
All right, Morty. I'm going to
sits down, and you notice behind you, his tail has kind of come up behind you, around your feet, and kind of curled in front of you in a protective fashion.
That's fucking adorable. Oh god, if he dies, I'm gonna kill you, Steve.
Kill Morty.
No, I don't want to be alone. All right. I think Morty. I think you're right. I think you're a very astute cartographer. I'm gonna say we should go in between the mountains. I don't really want to be up there anymore. It's making my head hurt.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that was a right choice. And oh god. All right, hop on, Barbara. Let's go.
All right, and I crawl up.
KJ, yes, a cartographer is in fact a map maker.
I scritch behind where his ears would be.
Oh, he's like, dude, if you don't mind, man, the leather harness that's holding these blinders on. Do you mind if you kind of just like reach?
It's not a leather harness, Morty. It's just owlbear jerky.
Did you have to say that? What'd you do? Tie the damn thing onto my head with entrails? Come on, what the hell's wrong with you?
It looks so good though. And then I like open the beak on top and I'm like, hi, I'm Mortimer.
And it's just like tapping down on its head as you make it talk. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Get off me! Get off me! His whole body just starts to shake. Oh, high altitude hijinks. Here we go. So going down the way, at last, when you begin to descend the mountain, navigating paths here and there, it takes you about an additional 2 days. Can you describe how Bramble creates sustenance, or like how do you thrive in this kind of environment, if not just merely survive?
Solar power, Steve. As soon as they get to a low enough altitude where their clouds, like where the mist of the mountains breaks and the sun comes out, she just sort of like sits back, kicks her feet up on Mortimer, and is just chilling. And she just absorbs that good vitamin D, and that's how she gets her sustenance as a Leshy.
And
but
then,
she also eats almond bread when it's available, or acorn bread when it's available.
of course, because Leshy.
Of course,
That's
it's a
what you do.
luxury.
So you're also 5th level now.
I am.
That means our little Leshy now has to grow, and there we go. Okay.
She's so tall.
I know. What are we can do when she's like 20th?
Well, we're gonna have to.
It's just yeah.
She's
you know what?
the baby EG.
Let's get her over here.
No.
There you go. So 5th level is now going to be there. Alrighty. So you continue down the mountain, absorbing that sunny vitamin D.
Sunny D.
I see what they did there. Okay, I see what they did there. Okay, that's all good. Until finally you do manage to come down into a valley. As predicted, it's at least somewhat peaceful. The winds and the threat of snow are now a little bit behind you. You've set up camp at one point. What does camp look like? In this case, you're like, well, here. You're going to come across a small plateau that's out in front of you. And down below, as you had seen in the distance, you made your way towards it, it is scattered with the remnants of towering stone objects. Massive archways meeting like huge, we are talking like stone sculptures of mastodon tusks. It's like at least like 200, 300 feet tall off in the distance. The tips of which have long since fallen away due to erosion. The threat of them now turned into mere stone monuments of a time long since gone. Towers of incredible heights, now nothing more than the foundation surrounded by a pile of rubble which has since now turned into a hill thanks to nature reclaiming it all. Everything standing as a silent witness to a bygone era. How do you set up camp?
I think I would imagine that the plateau is a little like craggly, like there's little like little indents and alcoves and things like Swiss cheese on the face of it.
It's a flat surface, but certainly when you first come down into it, there is going to be that period of transition. 100%.
Yeah, I meant like on the cliff side of the plateau.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you said down below is where the ruins are, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Bramble is super interested in the ruins because they sort of like are a story in themselves and like kind of like history, and she's all about that archiving history. So I think she wants to get a really good look at them, but doesn't want to be like stuck on the top of the plateau.
Sure.
So she's gonna take her rope out of her adventurer's kit and kind of like go have Mortimer hold it while she goes down to find like a little hole in the side of the plateau where they can all kind of like.
Well, plateau is it's a vast plain. There's no. We're not talking a steppe or a butte. We're talking it is a large expansive area. So when you come down into it, it's like walking down a hill into a field, only a very large field.
Oh,
KJ,
we're going
thank you.
Down the plateau.
Yeah, well, you're arriving on a plateau. Plateau is flat and level typically, so you're coming down from the mountain into the foothills and down into a large flat area. Typically, a plateau also denotes that it's usually of like a higher altitude within the mountains, and then from there you would continue down. But you are looking at an area that's several square miles large, and it's within this area that these massive ruins you can see like spread out all over the place.
Okay, then fuck it. We're gonna hang out on the top of it and on the flat surface, and just do our little hole in the ground fire so
Sure.
we don't attract too much attention.
Absolutely. Yeah, not a problem at all. So, in digging down, you get the fire settled. The sun now has already begun to set. Time passing, thankfully. At least you're no longer in the mountains. And it's good, hopefully, now. When the nighttime settles, your eyes focus on a little moving object just off in the distance. And there you can see, it's still cold. You're still in the higher altitudes, but you are now, again, on a large plateau within the mountains. Looking, you can see it's a long-haired rabbit. It catches your eye just for a second among the ruins, and it sniffs the ground. It looks around as you expect it to do, and then it continues on its journey, stopping, looking around, and then continues on its journey, doing its thing. And then you can see it, just as the sun has finally gone down and the light begins to disappear from the sky, and the first several stars begin to appear far above you, the two moons in their own crescent shapes in the distance. You can see that it stops at an odd plant, the same of which you can see here and there. And when your eyes focus and adjust to it, finally in that odd sort of twilight hour where focus becomes a little bit on the difficult side, at least for me, and then it turns into night, you can see thousands of these plants everywhere, each of them granting a dim shimmer like an ethereal glow in the night. The silhouette of the rabbit focused on that, now going in and around these areas, eating these plants. It eats some of the leaf, then it chews, looking around cautiously, and then eats some more. And after a moment, it pauses, and then it slowly adjusts its seated posture, kind of like sits into it a little bit. And then it goes down, takes a more purposeful bite, as opposed to the rapid ones that you would expect a rabbit to have. Now it chews more slowly, as if there was not a single danger in the area. It somehow seems more relaxed, its eyes not darting back and forth as you would expect prey animals to look around, but instead looking around, scanning, and looking up and around carefully before it even bends down, takes its paw, and tries grabbing some of the leaf to nibble at it again. And then, confidently, it looks up. You follow its gaze. A bird of prey, a raptor, silently shoots out of the sky and down towards the rabbit. Then a flash of fur and feather. The raptor now lying on the ground with the rabbit sitting silently on top of it. And after careful examination of the would-be predator, the rabbit slowly steps off the carcass and resumes eating the plant, leaving after another moment or two.
I'm gonna go do one of these to Mortimer and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Either I'm tripping absolute acorn nuts, or that rabbit is. Do you see that rabbit?
Yeah, well, I saw it. I saw that whole thing. Oh, yeah. No, I was looking for the popcorn.
On. You saw it and it didn't turn to stone?
Wait a minute. He, looks around. You see a field mouse at, 5 feet away. Doesn't, it's there. It's kind of just discovered, it's doing its thing, before it goes back into its burrow for the night or whatever. And it's like, huh. Tell me to turn it to stone. Or tell me to paralyze it.
Paralyze it.
And you see it. Hold on. There's another one over there. And you see the mouse is just continuing to do its thing. I'm looking at it.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit. Got a little bit of control over this. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, all right. This is good. I'm not so doomed to not see what the hell people look like if I happen to like them, because I can't even tell if you have a pimple on your face. If you had a pimple on your face, I go, but then you'd be all paralyzed and everything like that, and I don't want to do
really work like that.
And you see another field mouse, and he just kind of goes, I'll be right back. And he goes over and he munches the two mice. He comes over. So I'm kind of curious about those plants. I think the rabbit is kind of badass, but I don't think that rabbit did what it did without the plant.
I kind of want to test it out, but I also don't want to get fucked up.
What's the worst that can happen? You kick the shit out of a hawk? I mean, come on.
Well, no, that was weird though, right? The rabbit just
should have
killed...
fucking died. It should have absolutely have died. It didn't die.
But the prey killed a predator.
It is.
I don't want to kill you. Do you see what I mean?
Point.
I don't know if that's something that the rabbit chose to do,
or
that's something that the plant made it do.
Okay, no. That's fair. All right, then. All right, I'll tell you what. It seems like I'm getting a little bit of control over those things that I can see and, and do my thing with, right? Mm-hmm. Bramble, how much do you trust me? He always has the blinders on that you made him. And he's I know that I'm looking out through an owlbear head. I know that you put the fucking thing on my head, but take it off just for a moment. And the blinders too.
All right, come down here, buddy.
Yeah, come on. Go ahead. Get it.
Okay, oh god, it's moldy. Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. Nice. And thanks. So you look at him and he's all you can see is the back of his head, because he's a little bit in front of you, just as he always is. Being a basilisk, he doesn't want to look at you just in case the whole paralysis thing occurs to his friend. So you become accustomed to always talking to the back of his head. And he can always see his eyes. They are in front of him. He is a predator. So he's talking to you and kind of jesting, and you can see he's accommodated this method of communication. But you can also see that there are total like fucking owl bear guts and brains and other stuff on top. How do I look? Feels good. The skin feels moist. All right, good.
Yeah, it's exfoliated, I guess, as I like pick up like some stringy bits and like,
Okay, it's like, hey, thanks for the preening. Really appreciate the preening. Alrighty, hold on. And he holds up like two of his right claws. Do you trust me?
Yes.
His head at the end of that long neck turns for a moment. And you see the beginning, of his jaw. Those jaws are powerful. They crush rock. He turns again, and now you see the full profile. And it's like a lizard-like head, but a little bit more rounded. And his jaw, his mouth, starting way further back than is almost comfortable. And he turns, and you begin to see the glow of one of his eyes. Turns and looks straight at you.
Ah! Just kidding. Is that what you look like? Ha ha! Let's see if it works. Oh no.
Hey, kid.
Oh, you can't do that to me. I was thinking, am I just turning into a rock, or what's happening?
Marcus Flores, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, he's looking right at you. And you see the gem and his real eye, and he's for the first time, a couple of days, or several days ago, many days, like a fucking week ago, when you guys were up at the mountain pass after, the rotting owlbear head. By the way, he looks at it. It's smelling. Can we just leave it here?
It suited you with, your complexion. It was really bringing out the purple.
You like it?
Yeah, we could leave it. It's
Thank
okay.
you. I appreciate that. I really am. Okay. You can see that there are marks from where the blinders have been on his head all this time, like indentations in his flesh that every now and then he like rubs and what have you. He is looking back for a second. He looks back over towards where the rabbit was, and you can see the rabbit confidently is like moving away and eating some more of those plants. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'll tell you what, since I have control over whether or not you turn to stuff and things, and I think you and I can pretty much go toe to toe, and I think it'd be a good fight. I think it'd be a very good fight. But I promise not to fight you. I promise you, on baby basilisk toes, which are these cute little beans with little claws, so cute. I swear to you on baby basilisk toes that I will not kill you if you try to attack me, but instead I will restrain you.
Okay, but if I end up like raging like that rabbit did and able to take down
raging, hold on, did you see what I saw? What I saw was confidence, no fear, and that raptor came down out of the sky and tried to like swoop away with it. No, that rabbit completely raged on at that moment, but afterwards, man, that thing was cool and controlled. What I'm saying is that if you are like that rabbit, and hell, you're about the same weight. If you're like that rabbit, then I think you're just, I don't know. I'm not a toxicologist.
I'm just saying it's like a weird, like, that's not Nordaga's way, but either way, if I somehow start to try to take you down, I want you to paralyze me.
I'll do what I can to make sure that you don't move.
Fine, fair enough. All right. And I like go over to like the nearest flower and I like pick it up and
You pick it up. It is a broad-leafed flower, shiny on the top, indicating the presence of oils or something. On the underside, a lighter variety of the surface color, which appears to be more of a bluish green, mottled here and there. The underside, small hairs. The leaves are opposing each other, large fan-like leaves. And amongst them all, you can see a steady glow emanating from the central veins of each of the leaves. The glow getting a little bit weaker as it extends out to the periphery of the leaves themselves, leaving you with the effect of like an illuminated skeleton of a plant.
Excellent description. I I like touch the oily part and I like rub it in between my fingers and I smell it. I'm like,
You
what's going on?
you certainly don't smell much of anything. And when you feel it, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're a Leshy. You've come across plant oils before. This isn't like urushiol that you find on like poison oak or something like that. It's not viscous. It's very thin. It's there. I mean, you're touching it and you can see a slight amount, like you turn away from the leaves to kind of get your night blindness back or night vision back, right? And you can see that there's a very, very, very slight bioluminescence now on your fingers, and that's it.
All right. Well, this certainly takes me back to Foxglove's Bardic College days. So I'm gonna pop the whole thing in my mouth and I'm gonna sit
Holy
down.
shit, are you serious?
Balls. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got tripping balls. All right, go ahead.
Right underneath my tongue. I'm just like, this is gonna be a fucking ride. And I'm just like, see you later, Morty.
He just, I'm straight edge. It's all cool. And he just like sits down just for a second. And it's like, and he just watches you and you can see Morty's face staring at you intently. And it doesn't actually change. In fact, your vision does go blurry for a moment. And then it sharpens hastily. And suddenly you can see translucent figures moving all about you, ignorant of your presence. They whisper. You can hear them. They are whispering of things to come. And you can feel a removal of any kind of fear, even those residual little anxieties that we all have, gone. You find peace in the moment. And it's not the kind of peace that you find in death, but the kind of peace that you get from being able to understand your environment with full mastery. Against any kind of an effect, you are going to receive a circumstance bonus to that will save.
Cool. All right. So I'm like looking around and I look at my hands. I'm like, I don't really see anything else right now. And then I look up. I'm like, oh my Lord. Dog of Morty, do you see this?
Yeah, but it's not even, you're chill. That's what I'm saying. This is like, nothing here is going to hurt you. You hear them talking in tales. They're not even moving their mouths. It's almost like you can hear the memories of those that are around you. And when you look out upon the expansive plain in front of you, you can see that this place is vibrant with life. It's just not the kind of life that you're accustomed to. This place is not dead. Oh no. It is replete with life from the afterlife. So many have fought and died right here.
Hey, Morty.
Yeah?
It's pretty fucking cool.
What do you say? What's going on?
Everything.
Okay, that's cool.
Like,
all right.
Everyone's here.
To find the word, you see four claws come up. Everyone.
Like everyone. Everybody.
I don't see anybody. Hold on. Are you tripping? Are you like, what do you see? What is everyone?
I don't know, man. It's cool. It's like, I don't really, it's like.
Each and every single one of the individuals before you is wearing like a warrior-like armor. You could see some going, it's like one person, you don't feel any cold. You don't feel the telltale signs of a ghostly presence, or you don't feel any of that. Instead, there's a, and it passes through you. And as it, like, you can see, like, you can see the outer portion of it, and then you see nothing, and then you can see its back walking away from you. And you can see it's like sharpening a blade, a long blade. Now, you're an archivist, even for like the Leshy. I mean, well, particularly for where you came from in Turfrell Brig. No one knows anything about this kind of stuff. You do, which is why you're the one going out there and trying to find the last seed of the first Leshy, so that you can educate people on the potential threat and hopefully stab it off with the seed. You've heard of the Zerali Riders, which is why you're here. You know a little bit about their past. It is tumultuous. They fought for their territory against oppressive forces that came in probably at the hands of one of those weird-ass arcane mutated God King Atalti or some other bullshit. But either way, you can see that these are all Zerali warriors of an ancient past. That, too, over there, sitting around an invisible fire. You only see them sitting on invisible logs, which are certainly not there anymore. Instead, you see small tufts of grass, an indication that that particular area has a little bit more nutrition in it, thanks to those logs which, over the course of time, fell into and reincorporated into the earth. You can see a large glow, like a patch of. Have you ever seen pictures of bioluminescent things like floating on the ocean? I'm escaping this. Whales eat it. What the fuck is it?
Yeah, it starts with the C, I think.
Those things. So
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bioluminescent. That you see a collection of that. It's almost like a cloud of glowing people down further down the plane at the base of some of these ruins, as you would expect. Krill, thank you so much, KJ.
K, not a C.
Krill, yeah, thank you. Thank you. You look everywhere. This was, in fact, a battlefield. You describe it to Mortimer. He understands after a while and just keeps a lookout, reminding you and even asking you, and you do, and you can confirm you can see between both worlds, and it doesn't seem to be letting up at any time, and there does not seem to be any negative effects to it.
Cool. Well, and it's like close to nighttime, right? Or
it's definitely
close to like sleep time.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think probably it's safest to keep hydrated and maybe lay on my back, just in case I start feeling weird. But I'm feeling pretty good, Morty. So
Barbara is like looking around as well, and your little Leshy familiar, kind of gazing up and around, and just kind of stands up for a second. Two little tiny little claws right here in the like little T-Rex position, going.
Do you want to eat a flower too?
Like it shakes its head, or Barbara shakes her head just for a quick moment, and she like sits down in a defiant position, and then like looks around, finds a rock, and then goes over to the rock, crawls up on top of it, and is like standing there mightily back, pinned straight, like looking around, as if to suggest that she's going to take the first watch.
Oh, Barbara, you wanna kind of keep an eye out and protect us while we hang with all of the old memory ghosts?
And as you like talk to Barbara and you refer to the we,
Yeah.
you look back over Morty. Hey, there we are. Okay, we are back already. So sorry about that. OBS for some reason decided to freeze. Erin just went to go grab a quick little nosh, and we will be back. So during this time, though, I do want to say an extreme thank you. Can't wait to show you guys my kids' book when we're done with it. KJ, absolutely. We want to see that. 100%. 100%. Let me see if there's... Okay, so KJ is here. Erin, oh, are you all good? All right. All right. Erin is going back in. So we have a bunch of people who are watching right now, a lot of lurkers. I'm not going to mention you by name, but I do want to say hi to Victor, who is also here. Love having you here. KJ, of course. Crazy. Just always love having you here. Who else do we have here? Yeah, there's Victor. I'm scrolling up in the chat. Saying hi to everyone. Oh, Apple. There's Apple. Okay, we said hello to Apple
Anchor
and Jackal.
89, hello.
Yes. Oh, who's here? Oh, Anchor. Hey, Anchor. Anchor 89. Now also coming to join us. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, you just popped stuff in your mouth. Do you want me to vamp so you can eat?
You can vamp, but also I can't see you on Discord.
Oh. Hold on. Let me do what I need to do. One
KJ,
second.
I saw the doodle and it's perfect.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I'm jelly. Hold on. Where's my thing? Okay, can you see me on Discord now?
Yes, thank you.
There we go. Okay, good. All right, so we are back. Mortimer, and just like he's got an odd ass snore. Hold on. What would a basilisk snore sound like? Hold on. It's got to be. Let's see if I can get this. It's going to be a little bit, I want to say it's going to be a little bit lower and down. So it's down here somewhere. Down. He is out. Barbara perched up on a rock, looking out over the plains dutifully, allowing you to escape into the nighttime. When you hear something, then it's a little bit off. Barbara is now curled up next to you, passed out. A little bit of time has passed. However, when you open up your eyes, it's not because you're afraid of something. It's because you are alert to something. You look over, and you can see a shadowy figure. All the figures that you have seen thus far, with the exception of Morty and Barbara, of course, are all spectral in nature. You can very clearly tell the difference between this world and that. In fact, you can shift between the two filters with ease, not a problem. The effects of the plant also seem to be lingering on even to this second. When you look over, you can see a solid one. But is it a specter? Standing off in the distance, moonlight just illuminating the area around it, and this is just a black shadow. Now, immediately prior to the sun setting, Morty and you scoped out the area. Huge expanse of plain, not a problem, but you would also descend down into this, and there are little crags and whatnot, like you pointed out, on all sides. And, everything else is fine, except for some of the edgy parts. This individual is standing near one of those edgy parts. In this case, it's a drop by quite some bit. Maybe about 200 feet down into a crevasse. But that's the only dangerous part. You guys end up camping on another portion of the plateau for that reason. The figure stands there, turning, looking around, and then turns to its left, which would be back towards the mountains. Its gaze now looking up. You can see the silhouette of its head looking straight up into the up towards the peak, and then almost like it comes down and then comes into view. You see a boom, boom, boom. A huge creature coming down, a bipedal creature, definitely humanoid, coming down with a spear in its hand, lodging the spear directly into the person's chest. You see them fall back, completely powerless to do anything with it. They then pick up the spear and cast them straight down into the crevasse itself, and then riding the spear, it turns around, and you can tell by the silhouette of this creature, it's now facing you. It starts marching. What? And before he can even get out the full syllable of that one syllable word, this thing is on you. Roll for initiative. I have a 26.
Usually you roll mine. I'll roll the initiative.
It's just your perception check.
Okay. There's an initiative roll.
Yep, you can roll it. What do you got?
Yeah, I did. 29.
Not bad at all. Yep, you have absolute time to react. This thing comes forward, and just as it gets it within the limited light of the fire pit that you created, because you created there in the ground, just as it gets toward you, it disappears.
What the fuck?
I don't know. What are you? No. What are you talking about?
The thing that just ran right at me and almost killed us.
He immediately gets up and. Where was it?
Did you not? It was literally right here, right in front of us. It had its spear out and everything, and I was about to turn into a tree shape. It just yeeted off the cliff. You see him. He goes his body undulates like a massive salamander, comes down on that one area, and there's no footprints here. It threw somebody off the cliff over there, and I'm just gonna start running towards where I saw it. Sure. Morty stays back in the distance just in case. You go over to the cliff's edge down and look down into the crevasse. Mm-hmm. And you peer over the edge. What kind of vision do you have? I don't think I have. I think Zora has dark vision. I don't think I do. Low light. Low light. Good enough. The 2 crescent moons plus starlight absolutely providing more than enough for you. You look down there and you swear, you know what, give me a perception check. Yeah. While I'm rolling that, I think Bramble, in frustration and panic, is picking up every single rock she can and casting light, because it's a cantrip, and just chucking it down oh yeah, not a problem. I swear it was down there. I swear it was down there. She's really frustrated. Perception is a 16. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Not a problem. Yeah, I rolled pretty low on that. Well, you still did well. You look down there. Yeah, don't assume your rolls are low. With a 16, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's a plus 12, so it's fine. Yeah. And you can't, wow, you rolled a 4 and you got a fucking plus 12. Yay, Pathfinder. Yeah. 5th level. So when you cast those, and
and these little pebbles get a little bit of light on them. You go, thump, thump, you cast them down there, and as they fall, you know their light dims just a little bit over the course of the distance. Then, ping, 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 and they happen to land on either side of some earth, and you can see that there's some rock down there that is elongated, some of which is like jutting out from the earth itself. Then as your eyes adjust and your low light vision truly kicks in and absorbs everything that those light enabled pebbles now have, you see bones exactly where they would be if you were thrown off of a cliff and died down there.
Morty, come here.
Yeah. Well, what do I need to look at? What?
See those?
He looks down over the way.
See those bones?
I do.
That was a fresh body 2 seconds ago.
What the fuck? He immediately begins looking for a way to get down there safely, locating a little bit further down along the edge of the crevasse. He sees that it comes down to like a slow slope. Yeah, come on, let's go. And he like skitters off around there and navigates carefully down to that point.
I'll follow him.
When you're down there, you see bones and the last remnants of what would have been clothing. You see some orange dirt in the area, indicating the presence of iron. You see nothing wooden, of course, but definitely this was someone who was at one point or another. Like as you brush away some of the dirt, leaving the bones intact, so you can kind of get like a forensic view of this. Well, you know what? Your choice: survival, medicine, or perception, or unless something else that you think that you have.
Oh, it's gonna be perception with that plus 12.
Okay, let's do
it. 16.
Oh yeah, okay. Wow, that's not bad. So, carefully uncovering some of the bones, you can see that the cloth itself, though made of plant fiber, seems to have been treated in such a way as to preserve the majority of the cloth. Some of it was still buried under the ground, and also the nature of the dirt itself helped preserve some of the material. The overall picture that you get is that this person was in fact a warrior, and they were cast down here exactly as you saw. They landed like a thump and just crunched down. When you arrive at what is most likely the spinal column, you can see the pierce. You absolutely see the gouge that a spear had created as it passed through the person's body.
It's really weird because the whole night I was seeing like these shimmering glowing things and people that were just kind of warriors doing their thing, going through the daily minutia of battle, and this looked so real. It looked, they were black silhouettes, and I saw the ground move where they were, and I could feel the one come at me, and I really thought we were about to just go at it with this thing.
I understand. I think that's, as you talk to Morty and he's, acquiescing to whatever you're saying, as you're looking down the bones, you can see just out of peripheral vision, just under your brow, a pair of feet appear, hovering just above the ground, right near where its head would be.
I look up.
And you see that person looking down at their own body. Mortimer, meanwhile, is like, let me see if I can remove some of the dirt from over here. Barbara, come here for a second.
Can you see me?
The figure looks up at you. You hear like a sigh of relief that finally this person can be recognized.
I just saw you up there.
And the moment that you say that, you begin to see, thanks to the leaf that you ingested, you saw the entire fall come down, and then the passage of time over what seems to be centuries, as wind came over and blew dirt on top of the body, and then other things came along, like those fast forward or those time compressed videos where you see something
Montage?
yeah, you see the entire thing happen, and it is over the course of centuries that this person's body, like, it was almost immediate that they turned into a skeleton, of course, but their skeleton has been here, and their clothing, treated as it was by whatever it is treated by, just slowly, it just came down to the thing that you see now. Time lapse. Thank you, KJ. Wow.
Time lapse.
Not
Thank
scoring
you.
high on my English vocab. Yeah, you see this person, this spirit, this specter of history, looking down at you.
Can you understand me? And I'm speaking.
When you say that, what is the very first language that you speak? Sylvan, I would imagine.
Sylvan.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. And when it speaks, you don't hear Sylvan. You simply understand that it is talking to you. And Morty's like, yeah, of course I can hear you. What are you talking about?
No. That guy is right there.
What guy was right where? And you see like bristles come up on Morty's back. What are you talking about?
Hold on. I reach up and I jump up and I grab his head and I push it down to the bones.
Yeah, I see that.
This guy,
yeah.
and then I crank it up. Is right there.
It's like something I can't see again. All right,
Well,
maybe
if you eat a leaf.
Maybe I won't be straight edge next time. All right, fine. And he just sits down. I'll keep lookout, completely resigned to his fate in all of this. Meanwhile, the specter. You found me.
Yeah. I guess I did. Do you need to be buried? We're a little different, Leshy. We kind of believe that the earth kind of claims you, but you're still here. Do you want?
I am. You see, the specter is like looking around as if getting fresh eyes on the situation. And you kind of get the feeling that the properties of the leaf seem to have linked you to the spirit world. And in a way, it uses your eyes to look around for a brief moment. You can kind of feel it knocking at the proverbial door of the mind. Do you let it in?
Yeah, this is really fucking cool. I'm like thinking about like everything I'm gonna like, right?
It comes in and you can feel the like an inquiring mind slowly sitting in the passenger seat alongside you as you drive your body. So you are still fully in control, but now you kind of get the picture like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna have a watch party. And so you begin to hear things, and then you remember certain other things that you read back in your archivist days back home in Tearful Breg. And yeah, there was something, in fact, that you can tell.
Okay.
The figure begins to talk. Do you allow him? You're in control of the body.
Yeah.
Long ago, Batman, Dothari Shadow Weaver, he rules Orly. He used dark magic, makes Orly do what he wants. He likes Orly horses, use them for bad magic. Is Orly not free, not happy? Then Zara come. Zara strong. Zara brave. She ride horse good. She lead people. Zara not want Dothari rule. She say, we fight. Zorali listen. Zorali fight. Big fight. Happen.
The specter drifts off in thought, holding its hand up towards the plateau above.
Here. We, Zarle, fight. Here. Polthara Pass. That name of place. Place narrow, place dangerous. Many people die, but Zorle fight. They fight for freedom. We fight. We win. Dothari lose. Zorali free. But Zara, she gone. No one finds Zara. People say, where's Zara? No one know. Zara body not found. Zara's story go with time. Zara have special thing. Star of Yanroth. Star helps Zara fight Dolrathi. But after fight Star gone, Zorli want find Star. Star important. Star means Zorli free. Zorli remember Zara. Remember Star. They hope. We hope. Find Star one day.
You feel a sense of peace come over you as the passenger who you allowed to ride with you for a brief moment exits and dissipates, the weight lifted from these bones.
Is he still there?
No.
Oh, he left. I'll turn to Mortimer. He left. I was gonna tell him that I'll help him.
When you
find
turn
the
around to look at
star.
Mortimer's like looking at you like, I didn't know that you were into voice acting. That voice is pretty cool. How the hell did you do that?
Well, I took a class once. It was an elective at the community college, but I learned a lot. And I got to sit in the little, the little. I can't. Never mind. I tried so hard.
You were doing so well.
Anyways, I was gonna. Did you hear everything I said?
I heard everything you said, yeah, because you weren't exactly you at that time. You had this weird type of voice going on that I didn't know. You've never done that before. I've heard you have gas, and you've not made those sounds.
Cool. Was I intimidating?
Freaky as fuck.
Cool. Anyways, did you hear the part about the star?
Yeah. What's the Star of Yanath or something like that? What was that?
It was like something that she wore or held or carried with her.
Yeah, it had something to do with this, like defeating this Dolthari thing.
Yeah. And it's lost because Zara is lost. And if we find Zara, we could find the star, and maybe we could bring it. We could bring it to the Sorority Riders that are alive.
Okay.
And give it to them.
Okay.
And then maybe we could bring it as like a, hi, sorry we're encroaching on your turf, but I brought this thing that you're missing, and now can you...
How do you know
help
they're
us?"
not like a mile tall with like 1,000 teeth and just want to eat us for breakfast?
Bramble like gestures vaguely to the bones in front of her.
Hey, that's a fair point. All right, never mind.
I think we should look for the body. And I get like really excited. I like look around at all the other moving memories walking by, and I'm like trying to be respectful. So I'm like, we should look for the body.
All right, we will then look for the body. But I think if we're going to do anything, then we need to find out where this. What was the name? Zara?
Zara, yeah.
All right, well, we can find this person, Zara, whatever that is, and we find out where the battle took place. That might be a pretty good start, because if Zara disappeared, I mean, it could have been... You saw that raptor. You saw that hawk come down, the falcon try to steal that rabbit. I mean, it could be like... I've heard legend that there are eagles that are the size of, like, well, elephants, or even larger than elephants, like something like 10 elephants, and they can come down into this area and completely scoop people up. So I'm saying that Zara's probably already gone, got digested about 500 years ago, and we need to go back to sleep.
Do you want to go back to sleep?
Well, you're seeing things that I'm not, and I feel kind of excluded.
Well, why don't you... I mean, I don't want to make you lean into peer pressure, but there's all these flowers around.
You know, somebody's got to keep watching. It's like, you failed, man. You fell asleep. Shut up. I'm just saying that.
No, she did so good. Barbara always does. Don't you, Barbara? You always do so good. Yes, you do. You're such a good guard. So, I mean, I'm saying... I've got all my faculties, so I'm just saying if you do a little bit of drugs too, you might also be fine.
You know what? Hold on for a second. And it's like he goes up he goes up the slippery slope all the way up back up to the plateau, and he comes back down and he's got like one of those leaves in his hand. He's just kind of like walking with the other 7 feet while he holds one in his hand. You know, I can't really digest this.
You could do it.
I've been eating meat all my life. It's more minerals than anything else. I mean, my stomach acid's kind of turned it back into me, but you know, it's just kind of a thing.
Well, why don't you keep it with you? And then if you feel excluded, you can just take it.
He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just kind of like,
I'm gonna push his arm into.
And it goes right into his mouth. Like, oh, I hate it. Oh my God, awful.
Welcome.
This is fucking trippy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, whoa, hold on. He like peers down into the rest of the crevasse, which is just over there, wherever that is, wherever your mind's eye takes you. Looks down, is like, oh man, that's like a mass grave down there. Like, I think they're having like a brunchette or something down there. They seem to. Is that a mimosa? Hold on. He goes back up to the top. It like spends a couple seconds. You can hear off in the distance like a muffled, whoa, what the hell is that? And he like looks over. Hey, is this what you were talking about? It's like a sea of like spirits up here.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Oh, hey, can you? And he like turns away from the cliff, and you can kind of hear the conversation. Hello, can you hear me? All right, you can't. Hello, is anybody out here? And he just like cries out, his voice echoing across the plains. Wait, he like, hold on. He comes, I got one, and he disappears. What are you doing?
What do you mean you got one?
His head reappears. I'm talking to one. One's talking to me. I don't know how this shit works. And he like goes back.
Oh, hold on, I want to talk to them too. And I'm gonna like
and he come back up the way.
Vine climb up. Yeah.
And you can see that there's a warrior who is talking to him that is, you know, very not engaged at all, like the 1,000-yard stare going on the whole time. Oh, battle take place here. Awful. And just like it describes, I don't know what he's saying. He's saying something about a battle, and then this. I just realized Mortimer's slowly turning into Seth Rogen. So holy shit! I just did some drugs.
What was your rank?
I don't know.
Not yours. Not yours.
I don't know. It was like, and the spirit just like looks at you, Anyway,
It doesn't understand the meaning of the word rank.
I'm here.
what's your MOS? That's what you're asking, right? What's your MOS?
I'm trying. You said I was a voice actor. I'm trying to act here. What? I'm here to enlist in the battle. Where do you need me?
We are dead. This battle was fought long ago.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I see what you were doing there. I see what you were doing there. No, I don't think. I think they know how long they've been dead. Hey, fella, how long you been dead? 700 years. It's a long time.
And
long
he doesn't
time.
know his rank?
You've got to be rank. This is not an organized force.
What was it like? Well, Zara was the leader, so it's a little organized, right?
Like, I don't know. You asking me? You asking him?
I'm asking anybody at this point. Does anybody know where Zara is?
And you see a whole bunch of heads turn slowly towards you, and then they go about their business and says, this guy like looks back at you,
45 Bravo.
and just like goes back.
Small arms repair.
And just he's going back. No, they don't understand rank or MOS or anything like that. They're just kind of like whatever. So
That's so stupid. I love it. Okay.
see somebody else come up like
42 Sierra. I was a band member.
just like goes out somewhere else.
Oh
And you see it just
God.
he whips out a tuba. Just like starts. The impression that you get is that this is a tribal nation back then, and like it was a long time ago, and they probably have evolved since, thankfully. But there was no modern military thing going on here. No small arms repair or musicians.
Sorry, it's so perfect because the vibe of everyone wandering around just like not really doing anything is
Oh, it's
very
Army.
National Guard.
Oh, it's U.S.
very-
Army.
It is the first drill morning drill weekend. It's just everyone's holding their Wawa cups of coffee and just like, well, we're here.
So yeah, it's just kind of
Yeah, what's doing? How you doing?
Yeah, don't talk to me. It hasn't been formation yet.
So anyway, you get the
Okay,
impression that this person was a spear fighter, therefore probably front line behind some shields. Judging by some of their attire, they have complete freedom of movement of their lower extremities, more like leather pants and what have you. But you can also see that there was a seam built in. I forget, a gorget. No, gorget goes around here. Oh God, my vocab today is horrible. It's the additional material that is added onto something that allows you to expand out into it, and I forget what it's called. But either way, the additional material was placed in the crotch area, indicating that these people that the person that you're looking at is definitely a rider. This is not somebody who is a mere, just nobody. This is not just a not a pleat crazy, because that'd be more like a kilt. No, it's a God, I forget what it's called. If you hold out a sleeve and you take a look at like some of the ancient wear from particularly Middle Ages, which you'll see like on a typical tea tunic, you'll see an additional triangular piece of fabric that was included into this area, and that allowed for that movement, particularly for horse riders. A gusset, thank you, gussets, yes. KJ, perfect. Mwah. Good job.
Look at everybody in chat. Just
I know. It's fucking
They're
awesome.
carrying this vocab.
It's awesome. So you're getting the impression that the people that you're talking to, ancient, extremely established tribal society that were warriors, and each and every single one of these people died somewhere out on this vast plateau. But when you said the name Zara, many of them did turn around as if your voice all of a sudden just punched through the night and echoed off of the hills and called alarm to everyone out there. When that fighter, this warrior standing next to you, hears the word Zara, being the first one to hear it, you see it empowering him. And then a lone stare looks off into a distant hill further down the plateau.
That way?
On it! And Morty is already going back to the campfire and picking everything up. Barbara, come on! He's already getting stuff together. When he comes back, he has all the camp gear and stuff. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna look back at the ghost guy that was hanging out with us. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best in your next spiritual battle, which you will win, of course. No, okay, let's go.
Well, he looks at you and he just says,
There are no goodbyes here. See you soon.
And he then disappears.
It's a little. I look at Mortimer. I'm like, that's a little ominous.
I didn't hear that. Nope, I thought you were going to say.
Ghost, I'll see him soon.
Nope.
Does that mean we're gonna die?
Nope. No, that's not how I heard it. Hey, look, a hill, and it just goes straight towards the hill. It's just gone. So it takes a little bit of time, and there is there's some congestion amongst all the spirits. There's groups that are here, and as you go through, it's almost like going through like shadows of light. They seem to pass by you quicker the faster you go, and I don't mean in that weird sort of like, well, of course things pass by more quickly the faster you go, Steve. No, I mean that in that sense of like, you go 2 miles an hour, it passed by 4 miles an hour. You go, it's almost like they are walking through time. And you are heading into, it's an odd sort of effect. It's almost like a Starfield by the end of it.
I can describe exactly what it is. It's when you're on the walking escalator.
Yep, there you go.
The airport.
Boom. There you go. Yep. Yeah, it's like you are being hastened in that direction. The ground under your feet is not moving at any particular rate that is odd. You are simply making contact with the ground as usual, but they are moving faster away from you. Having said that, when you finally arrive at the hills, it's some hours. It's to the point where the hill itself is illuminated by the morning sun. You didn't get a lot of sleep, and because of that, you're going to be fatigued. So just do keep that in mind. But at least you kind of have an idea of what's going on here. You look up at the hill, you can see that there were some towers and what have you. And there you can see what appears to be a little bit of a stone wall that has, of course, since fallen. The majority of the rubble now forming an additional part of the hill on top of the hill. When you finally get up there, you can see that this was the ruins of a fort. This is where the last section of the battle had taken place. May I have... What do you have? You have Archivist lore? What kind of lores do you have on your sheet?
I've got Lore Master lore. So
yeah, give me the Lore
Master.
Lore. Yeah, let's roll that.
So this will be the equivalent of me reading a book about castles and forts.
Really? Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's weird. My dice was just like a shadow, so I couldn't see the number, but I could see it on the side. I got a 25.
Sweet. So with the 25, you're taking a look at something that had probably taken decades to build, and it is an extensive fort system. It's almost like the ghostly remnants or a shadow of it exists as you examine everything, putting together or coupling your knowledge with the existing ruins. And you begin to see that this whole area wasn't just a fort, it was a living area. Probably started off as like a valley, which is like your typical tower on top of a hill or what have you, and then like a palisade fence around it, all wooden structures, none of which would have existed over the course of 700 years, to any great effect. We don't have Landsat 8 here, so we can't see dirt inside of dirt because we're not there. But what you do see is, according to your knowledge, is that this was a place of residence as well as a place of defense. So, which would indicate this was a nation that was constantly at battle. There was no rest just because you lived here. There were probably like weavers and farmers and the usual citizens who would exist in an area like this. But the vast majority of these people would have been warriors on some level. The farmer would have picked up a hoe and just attacked with that, or like a wooden tri-tined hay pitchfork, and defended against that. Others, most likely, however, swords, axes, or some other small amount of metal. There are tons of mountains around here, so chances are their mining operations were also up to fucking par. And so you begin looking around and you don't see any indication of mining or anything like that. Back then it probably would have been bog iron and passing rivers and what have you. So you look around for all of the evidence, and the picture that you get is this was a village. It had been attacked many times. As you step up and you kind of put your hand on certain old ruins, you could see areas where mortar had been added to the wall, indicating repair. These were people that were constantly at war, and as such, would have been very skilled fighters to have lasted as long as the amount of time it took to erect this entire stone wall going around it, now completely fallen, a mere shadow of history.
Well, as I'm like feeling the wall, the ghost memory thing did look this way when we mentioned Zara. That could mean that Zara operated out of here, or came from here, or died here, or maybe none of that. Really, the possibilities are endless. Are there any like crawling vines up the ruins?
Not so much vines. You do see the attempts of certain plants to do that, but those kind of plants don't exist in this area. But you do see some like old vine, some dried up things that still cling to it, but nothing new.
Okay, I'm gonna try this anyways. So one of my level 5 feats I picked up was Speak with Kindred. So Bramble is going to go up to the vines and kind of like gently poke one of them to see if it's like dead. It's probably dead, but she's gonna poke it anyways and say, hey there, friend. Good morning. I was wondering if you could help me locate a person who might have worked here or stayed here. If you're dead, then just don't say anything. But if you're not, if you could, like, I don't know, blink once for yes and twice for no. I'm not sure what you do.
So, wow, you're gonna fucking do this. Give me what do you have that you feel you should roll to assist you in this?
Okay, so I would need a little clarification.
Sure.
Because it
Yeah,
says
what do you got?
you have a connection with creatures that share your physiology.
Yeah.
You can ask questions of, receive answers from, and use the diplomacy skill with plants or fungi that match your Leshy heritage. Generally, blah, blah, blah.
We'll say it's a plant and therefore it's a shared ancestry. Let's go with the diplomacy. Let's see what you have.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it actually required a roll because it says you could just do it.
Well, we're talking about a plant that's been dead for a very long time.
No worries, no worries.
So, you're literally you're necromancing plants now.
That's a 21.
That's a 21. So
I was really excited about this one. This is an exciting feat.
okay. Well, let's see what happens. So the vine completely desiccated and everything like that. It's ancient, it's gnarled, it's just like it's clinging on. I mean, it's been around here for quite some time. And then you realize that the vine is probably maybe like 2 years old. But its roots, you look around elsewhere and you can see a little bit of green on that one over there, a little bit of green on that one. And then as you ask the question, go ahead.
Do you remember a lady warrior? Her name is Zara. She was.
It begins to rustle as if stirred by an unseen wind.
Oh,
and you see leaves of a spiritual nature, the effect of the plant that you ate still carrying on. Leaves begin to shimmer again with like a faint ethereal glow. You're getting this idea that what you are looking at is a plant from the past, and that you are actually talking to a spirit from all that time ago. You could feel a strange sense of awareness emanating from it. And so, so when you ask the question, it goes, it shudders a little bit. And then a voice, soft and creaky like the rustling of dry leaves. And it begins to fill your mind in the same way. And Mortimer's like, oh, is that thing coming to life? Oh, you just resurrected a plant. Oh,
I am the coolest fucking druid ever.
You really are. I don't know how you're doing it, kid. And he just kind of sits down. All right. And he just like starts eating imaginary popcorn. So the plant is like,
Zara. Yes. Zara. I remember Zara. A warrior of...
its vines, like you can see it trying to move and trying to seek out different parts. Another part of the vine coming around to where an axe had once bit into a nearby stone, and it comes up and like runs through that until it finally latches onto that part of the wall, and then sits there and dies over the course of like several months until you see the remnants of its skeleton there now.
She was a beacon of hope in times of darkness, a defender of the riders that now live here. Her spirit was as wild and as free as the wind sweeping across the plains which we love, carrying new seeds for birth. Her courage as steadfast as the mountains themselves, they say. She wielded a mighty artifact, they said, a symbol of her people's freedom. It shone with a light like the nighttime sky, and it could pierce the darkest light, a light that reflected the fire in that one soul whose roots we now feel amongst ours. She was a hero, a leader, a stalwart as a sequoia to the smallest of plants, a friend to all, but she was a mortal, and mortals are not meant to live forever.
Another vine comes up and begins to join that one. Go ahead.
You said you felt a soul among the roots. Is that her? Do you feel her body down there somewhere? Is she buried here?
She fell in battle.
This one says, a new vine coming up, and now you begin seeing real vines start coming up from around the rock where they existed but you didn't yet see. New ones come up and begin talking with you.
Oh, she fell. We know of her. We know the taste of her bones.
Where do you taste it strongest? Where is it strongest?
And you can hear a whisper of what you hear is the chemicals of the plants traveling on the wind, and then the reception of those chemicals from other plants, and they begin communicating with each other to create the entire story.
Just wait till the Circle of the Verdant Dawn hears about this.
I don't know. I know exactly. I know it. Wait, you didn't tell me anything about a circle. So I have to say, oh yeah, that's right. You did. It was, man, that was like 2 weeks. All right, what are they saying?
When she fell in battle, it was here in the pass.
And you could see so many of the leaves begin to turn as if it was a fast forward through time, and how the leaves turn to face the sun to absorb the most amount of light. You see them all doing the same thing and then peering down towards those giant sculptures of like those mastodon tusks.
Yeah.
Down further down the way, and all of them are peering there before they go in a very odd, like time spliced fashion, all coming back to face you, as if again you were zipping back and forward through time like an old school VCR, just kind of like, you know, with the dial doing its thing.
Oh my god.
Fucking pulled that one out of my ass.
I used to have one of those too.
Are you serious? Like where you had the shuttle skip or whatever the fuck that was called?
My sister and I used to like see if we could freeze frame on really funny poses.
Oh yeah, totally. Or if like if you didn't have cable but you got it received and you kind of saw the scrambled signal and then you tried to see where the porn was.
We are old. And
okay, so anyway,
you are telling on yourself, Steve. You're telling on yourself.
She fell in battle.
Channel 13. All right, go ahead.
Skinamax. So she Jackal's like, huh? It's like scratching the records.
Jackal, don't act like you don't know.
Anyway, so
oh my god,
KJ's like, I had a VCR when I was a little kid. It's like, oh, Steve. Anyway, so the vines and the plants, you even see the grass kind of like grow up a little bit faster as you're talking to it, and they're also casting like chemical signals all over the place, and you completely understand what is happening. While you only hear one voice, what you are hearing is the song of history as told by the interactions of all of plant life in this area. All of them talking to you. And then they continue.
Oh, she indeed fell in battle, right here in the pass. Her body was never found, they say. We know where it is, but her spirit lingers just like yours. I can feel it, even now, a faint echo of a vibrant life she once had. The body is gone, having nourished the earth and all of us, even now. We understand, but she is not forgotten. We are here because of her and others like her and her family. We eat their flesh so that we may live. We carry the memory of Zara with us all. Her legacy lives on in the hearts of her people, but lives on in our leaves, and our growth, and our children. They tell stories of the past. We tell stories of the present. Our stories make us grow. She makes us grow. Her people who died here made us all grow. She brought them freedom, like a choking vine holding back a tree that grew. Cast down, we were allowed to grow. Now her people grow as well. They cherish their freedom. Ask your questions. We will do the best that we can. And remember, I am just a little vine, a silent observer of the passing ages. My memory is our memory.
And you can see the grass and weeds even now beginning to grow up out of the ground to face you, all of them contributing to the voice.
Our memory is long, but it is not infallible.
So, she's down at the pass?
That is where we know her body taste is.
Do they, the ones that you see now, the ones that are alive, do they take kindly to unburials?
You can sense a...
When something comes to the earth, it welcomes itself to us. How would you undo that?
Well,
They're not understanding the
sometimes...
concept of burial. You're getting that.
Yeah. Never mind. That was more of a I hope I don't get in trouble if somebody catches me kind of thing. So, do you remember the if she was wearing like a star pendant or holding a star or something?
There was something about her that shone mightily like light, and it fed all beings around her.
Okay. That's really helpful. I really appreciate this, all of you. And I look at all the stuff, and I kiss a couple leaves, and I'm like, boop, 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 boop.
Morty's like, that's been dead for a while. You may want to...
It's not dead.
And when you look at it
Everything
through your reality lens, and you filter away the spirits that are talking to you, there's some dried up, desiccated leaves in your hand. They've been dead for several months.
You know what? You just go back to eating your imaginary popcorn.
We
I'm gonna
know
carefully.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna carefully scoop the decimated leaves onto another leaf.
Decimated. It's not like you put them in a mortar and pestle. It's desiccated. It's dried out.
Okay, mister, my vocab is so on point today.
Well, I always... However, it has been some time. There's an overnight period that had also transpired since you ate the leaf. And you're kind of getting the feel that...
You want to search down at the past, but the past is long from here, and so are the memories.
Oh no, I'm coming down from my high. How you doing, buddy? I look over at Mortimer. Oh, you're one of those. Okay, time to wake up.
What? Yeah, hey, where have we been?
He takes off his glasses.
Where have we been?
Oof. He looks over. You look over at the sun. That was the morning. No, that was the morning. The sun is on the other side.
Oh. Well, we've been here and we're gonna be here for a few more hours because we're going to bed.
Oh yeah, okay. I got a little couple hours. All right, I'll take it. Well, I'll keep watch this time, and yeah. Barbara, how you doing?
We're gonna find a place in the ruins that's kind of heading towards. Oh, thank you.
Okay. You want to set up a camp for the night, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Describe how you decide to set this up and where specifically, what do you imagine is near you?
Yeah, so there's probably structures that are kind of half collapsed and stuff. So I would imagine there's rubble. I'll probably put I'll have Mortimer help me like move some rocks around to create like a little tiny little fort, a little
Okay.
fort within a fort. And then kind of burrow in there and go to sleep.
Oh, that's so cute. Where's Barbara?
She's with me.
Okay. And Morty, I've got the night watch if you want. I got some sleep back over there while you were talking to the wall. So, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna do a really good job. I just know it.
Sure. Yeah, okay. If you want, I will.
He seems a little bit spooked out. He's like frightening a little bit. He's kind of like looking around. He's not.
What's the matter?
I didn't know there were so many dead people.
I mean, yeah. What do you mean? Do you still see him?
No, not anymore. But when we came up here to the plateau and I looked around all over the place and I saw like, oh, there had to be tens of thousands of them all over the place for as long as I could see. And like when you see a sea of glowing stuff that has never been there before, and now I don't see it again, and it's nighttime, and I don't see it. I see some of the plants all around that I can eat in order to see all that stuff again. I didn't realize that they kind of stay alive, just without a body. That's okay. Yeah, that's kind of unsettling. So I'm going to sit here and meditate on that.
Okay. Maybe don't dwell on it too much, because that could turn into like weird residual bad trip sort of situation. Maybe you could sleep if you want to. We don't always have to be on watch. It seems kind of.
No, I don't mind. Like I said, I got the rest before. I'm just kind of like, well, yeah. Go ahead, go to sleep.
He seems pensive. He's lost in thought to some degree. His voice trails off as he sits around and looks, as if looking for that predator out there. You're in the middle of an open plateau. It is cool at night. You built another fire. You're staying warm. You're huddled up near it. A soft glow from it, the in-ground fire. You're comfy. Your visions have also escaped you. They have now left, and Barbara is sound asleep. The long day had come and gone. He looks concerned.
Okay. I think as he goes to like sit, I think Barbara's gonna like try to sleep in her little fort and realize like she can't quite fall asleep, so she's gonna like all right, and like army crawl out and then go over to Mortimer and then kind of like tap him on the thing and be like,
yeah.
Scoot over.
He moves over.
I'm like curl up like our cat in
Okay.
next to him.
And the tail just comes out reptilian and then just pulls you in just for a moment. And it's just a little bit snug, and you can already feel, for a cold-blooded creature, he's still a little bit on the warm side, particularly since he has like a good portion of his body right near the pit as well. The time passes. Not a stitch of any disturbance comes. You can almost envision the night sky slowly rotating until the sun came up once again. A reminder of this tiny little globe that you're on that carries all this history, let alone this tiny little plane in the existence of this cosmos of spiritualness. And yet all the spirits are there. You know that they're there. They're always here. But is it like this everywhere? Even Mortimer, so like, I mean, really, it was like,
Is it this place that's haunted, or is it like no place is haunted? It's just that spirits never quite get any rest. Well, shit, I don't ever want to die. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk to you, disrupt you. Yeah, no, you go back to sleep. You're fine. And he remains silent just for a little bit. But like, what am I really looking at, though? I can't see. And he continues on through the night. It takes you the entire day. And by this point, it's almost preferable that you see this stuff at night. It seems to be a little bit easier to see due to the contrast of their slightly glowing spectral bodies against the dark background of like the Zoroarli, the Zoroarli landscape. But it did take you all day to get down to those ruins. And when you approach, there's almost a sense of reverence in the air. It's like if you were to go to a battlefield of something that had occurred, and you knew that you were there. You knew that on this very ground, warriors of ancient clans had fought here and died here, and their blood soaked into the soil. And so when you arrive, the landscape shifts, and the rugged mountain terrain, now that you're approaching the end of the plateau, gives way to a scene of ancient grandeur and solemn remembrance. Two colossal stone sculptures, like I described before, they literally rising from the earth, their forms weathered by the passage of time, but still, they are breathtaking in their majesty. They stand like these silent sentinels, their crossed forms resembling like the mighty horns of a mastodon, and they reaching towards the sky in a silent testament to a bygone era. They are towering over the landscape. They're high like a stag. I mean, when it's one thing to say, oh, it's about 200 feet. When you are standing at the base of something and you look up and you see 200 feet of stone looming above you, yeah, they have become mountains. Somber shadows cast across the pass. It's worn and pitted. It's marked by the relentless assault of wind and rain, yet they retain a sense of formidable strength and resilience, much like the Zorleaf riders themselves. The ground around the base of the sculptures is strewn with rubble, as you would imagine, the remnants of the stuff that's like long since crumbled to dust. And here and there, you can make out like faint outlines of what might have once been walls or foundations. And the ghosts, all of it, ghosts of buildings followed by time. The air is heavy. It's a sense of loss and remembrance. Maybe it's just in your head. Maybe it's actually being emitted by the earth. You kind of got the sense that the vines understood what had transpired here, able to communicate over this entire distance. You had traveled close to 5 miles just in that day, just in this plateau. That's how expansive this thing is. So by the time that you get there, you realize that this is a place of beginnings and endings. This where you are now standing is a place where a hero, by their own people's words, fell. And a legend, somewhere here, had been born. And you stand in the shadow, these massive horn-like things. And you can almost hear the echoes of Zara's last battle. A clash of steel and bronze, a roar of defiance, and a final resounding silence. This, as your roots sink into the ground, you weren't even aware you're receiving the signals from the earth itself, like seeking out all the things that those vines and plants all the way back there talked about. It's like you find yourself doing it yourself, and this is where Zara died. But it's also where her legacy began.
And as you look upon the runes all around you, there's an absolute sense of awe and reverence. Even in death, somewhere around here, Zara's spirit remains. And it is still, to this day, you can feel it. You're not even one of the riders, but you can feel it. That there's a beacon of hope and courage for all of her descendants. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Are there any of those flowers around here?
Yes.
I immediately eat one.
And you see, like, materializing out of the evening air, almost like a cool mist that has coalesced in front of you, the spirits of warriors, many of them holding spears and looking down on the earth as if the battle had just been won. Some reaching out and touching shoulders of others in a sense of comfort. Others sitting down with a silent sigh brought on by the end of war. That processing of what has just been experienced, the adrenaline long since gone, and now the body is permitted to feel the fatigue and shed the weight of death. It's almost like when they died in their happiest moments, these warriors. And this is them merely resting on those laurels of time, those memories of ancient glory.
I'm gonna go up to like the first one I see. Congratulations.
Turns around, wearily nods. The weight of the death that individual had to bring to others to gain some freedom for his own family.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Zara.
Face comes up and indicates with the jaw somewhere down there. Now down there is it's a place. It's well, you see a couple more runes of what used to be a wall, and the jutted jaw seems to indicate that area.
I'm gonna look at Mortimer. We gotta go this way.
He nods silently and slowly and respectfully treads through the territory, the last remnants of one of those silver glowing leaves in his mouth as he chews it quietly.
Oh, good. I was gonna walk in front of him so that he could like follow my footsteps, but he's high too, so we're good. All right, so I'm gonna like kind of like congratulate people as I pass by them, like, good battle, well fought.
Now you see some people, and you even see others now that don't seem to be from this area, and you see hands on opposite shoulders, like they're looking at each other, coming together where their foreheads are touching, the other hand holding themselves up, still with the vast majority of them were spear fighters. Easy. A shaft of wood, easily found, mere small amount of metal and a good amount of training would make a spear the most formidable of weapons. And that is mostly what these people fought with. And then you see one person as you go through, and the mists of the dead disappear behind you, only for new ones to coalesce as you begin to approach. You see one person holding on to something here, and then a motion of like a brush, and then as you approach, you can see a clump of grass in this one area. Large, maybe about 7 feet long or so, 2 meters, 3 meters or so. And about 1.5 meters wide, or like about 2 yards wide or so. And the thing that they are brushing is the spirit of a horse who has stopped and nuzzled up against them as well, foreheads touching even after all this time. And as you venture deeper into the ruins, the air gets a little bit on the colder side, and the silence more profound. Even in the moonlight, shadows cast by those tusks, and also around you, towering stone sculptures, they seem to reach out, all pointing to this one area, and it creates this labyrinth of darkness and mystery. And you can feel your plant-like heart pounding in your chest as you navigate through some rubble, as if guided by an unseen force, as if the shadows themselves are slowly guiding you towards this area. And eventually you come up on a secluded alcove, hidden away from the main path. The space is small. It's like almost intimate. It's sheltered by the remnants of that crumbling wall I mentioned. The ground is covered in a thick layer of dirt, and you brush it off just a little bit, and it's completely undisturbed under that, undisturbed for centuries. And there's a profound stillness all throughout. And in the center of this alcove, half buried under a pile of fallen stones, you see a patch of earth slightly risen. Mortimer holding a paw out. Let me see this. He moves forward just a little bit and slowly scrapes away some of the dust. And some of the... When I say dust, I mean earth that over the course of time has broken down so much so that it is dust. The wind is not getting into this area. You're going in between walls and what now by this point in order to get access this one little area. And you see a skeletal figure beginning to emerge from the earth, some feet down. The bones are old, and it seems to be a dryness in the air being the only thing that has kept them here, and a lack of nutrient-seeking critters that are looking for it. And the surface is worn and pitted, and yet they seem to retain a certain dignity. It's a silent testament to whatever kind of warrior this person once was. And the skeleton is clad in a kind of an ancient armor. Metal, pretty much corroded and tarnished for that which still remains. And yet it's still bearing faint traces of intricate designs that have been etched into it carefully. And lying next to and buried in the earth to the skeleton, buried next to the skeleton, almost hidden by debris, there's a weapon. The blade is rusted beyond any real state, and its edge is dulled by time, but the hilt is still wrapped in a faded leather, and the grip that has been worn by holding onto it after countless battles. Still oiled and shiny from, just friction wearing it down. And you gaze down upon the skeleton, now completely uncovered, perhaps for the first time in many centuries. and it's formidable. This is, even in death, she's undaunted by the passage of time. Her final resting place is humble and yet fitting for a hero who lived and died by the blade. And as you stand there in the presence of whoever this mighty person was, and there, you kind of get the feeling that this could only be one person in the presence of these remains. There's a sense of profound respect and admiration that seems to come just from this area. This is a place of remembrance. And it was here that that journey ended and that legend was born.
I think this is her, Morty. This is Zara.
Yeah, he's now standing back and he's like, just, yeah. The normal, loquacious Morty, silent. A slow, ponderous intake of air filling his lungs, and then understanding what happened here.
Is she still here? Like, look around.
No, but as you look around, what you see is countless souls standing around that whole area in a hemisphere. Hundreds, as far as the eye can see, if not thousands of people. And none of them are coming close to you, and all of them, their heads down, heavy weight leaning upon that which had taken the lives of others.
So, knowing what I know about them not having ranks or anything, but their relationships to each other from the foreheads and the horses.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around. I'm going to say, who is her second? Who can speak for her?
They exude a sense of energy from them, not in the sense of like electricity, just a feeling, like an emotional impact, like you've come into a room where two people have just been crying relentlessly, and though you can't see signs of the crying anymore, it's been some time, it's still palpable, it's still in the air. You get a feeling that each and every single one of them was her second.
Mm-hmm.
That she didn't hold herself as a leader. She held herself as she would conduct herself, as a person who rose above in that moment and died doing what they simply do best, just like everyone else here. And yet, her deeds are not forgotten by the dead.
Morty, do you see a star in there?
When you say that, those figures behind you you can feel them all exhale, and dirt begins to blow, and at first like globules of dirt refuse to move, and then like a dust like a wind comes over the area and slowly reveals more and more of the skeleton within the earth. And as you gaze on these remains, a little bit of moonlight, a shaft peering down over the broken ruins of the area, shines down on something, creating a small glint of light amongst all of this dust and decay. And that's when you see, nestled close to the skeletal hand, half buried under centuries of detritus, something that seems very much out of place. You see a star-shaped pendant. Its surface tarnished, worn, still radiating like a faint glow. The pendant looks beautiful, but it looks like an archaeological find.
Okay. She's gonna like crawl up to the grave and like peek in and like look at it, and then step back and like think about it for a little bit. I want to give this to the Zororly riders now, the ones that are alive. And I say that to Morty.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just take something. I don't want to take something without giving something back. And I'm going to scramble back up to the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take off my Verdant Dawn amulet that Darian gave me. And I kind of like hold it up, and then I kind of like show it to the people around the outside.
Their heads lifted from a solemn remembrance look up, and they watch curiously.
I'm going to take the star.
You pick it up?
Only... No, I don't pick it up yet. I'm telling them.
Okay.
But only to return it to your people who are still alive, so that they can feel the hope that you all felt when you rode with her into battle.
You see some who are standing more erect, like curious as to who is this interloper. Relax just for a little bit as you describe that. Now their heads tilted with an ever so slight sense of kindness.
My name is Bramble Clove.
The
and
voices carry the
the
name out across the crowd.
And I'm a part of the Circle of the Verdant Dawn. And I am as much of a formidable druid as Zara was a formidable rider. I know I could do this.
They remain silent. These are people who have conducted themselves by action, so they wait for you to do something.
Yeah. And I think that was more for me. And
Good one. Yeah. You keep doing that.
thanks, Morty.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like very gently like I'm gonna first put the necklace in, so it doesn't look like I'm just taking it. I want to put that one in first, and then take the pendant out.
So it's surprisingly light in your hand, and its edges are smooth from years of wear. It's crafted from a strange metal. Maybe in the sunlight you get a little bit more information, but it really is unlike anything else that you've seen. It's cool to the touch. Give me an Arcana.
Okay. Arcana.
Yeah, give me something like that.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
It's a 10.
It's a 10? It's all right. That's all you needed. You need to be more, you need to be more, like, just aware of the presence of... What's your modifier?
9.
Plus 9? You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. That's cool.
Right. I never roll a 1, Steve. It's always with the modifier.
Nah. You're good. Okay. Not a problem. So, when you hold it in your hand, there's a moment. You can feel a pulsing coming from it. And there's a tinge of magic to it that's emanating, like it ebbs and flows in your hand. The star itself is intricately designed. As you resolve yourself in the feeling of this, you examine it a little bit further. It does have 5 points, and they are all perfectly symmetrical. And in the center, there's a small circular indentation as if something is missing. But as you hold it, you can't help but feel that same sense of awe. This is a simple, though ornate, it's a simple and unassuming object that was once a symbol of hope and courage. It was a beacon that guided this person, this hero, through countless battles. And now, it lies in your hand. Its light dimmed, but not extinguished. Something owing to their legacy, perhaps, but you know that this is so much more than just a relic of the past. This is a symbol of resilience. This is a reminder of, while it may be one warrior's undying spirit, it speaks so much larger to the people who are all watching you right now. It's a beacon that somehow, some way, transcends mere visual clues. You don't see a light so much as you feel something that extends for miles and miles and miles. Something that shines even in the darkest of times.
I'm understanding that this needs to, like, I cannot lose this, like, at all. I'm going to, so Bramble's like vines, so her body's made up of vines and they kind of twist and turn into this like skeletal shape.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to like snap one at her knuckle that goes all the way up to her shoulder.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel good. She probably like winces and there's like a little bit of sap that oozes and stuff. But she's going to like weave it back through. So it's this loose tendril thing. And then wrap the amulet up and like twist, like press it against her, like roll it up. And then tuck it inside of her vine. So it's literally a part of her.
Okay. You do. And you can feel a sense of closeness to you. You've concentrated on that, and as it kind of settles into its new home, there's a sense of grounding there. And then you feel a heavy pawed but light tap on your shoulder.
I'll turn around.
It's Morty. Look. And you look out upon the plateau across the way. It's silent. There is not a single spirit out there. You can feel presence, but somehow, some way, the lifting of this has given them hope that a new journey of belief now begins. And it brought them rest.
Cool. Okay. So I guess we just head that way until we meet some riders.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Morty, shaken by it, starts walking off towards the plains ahead. Come on. I guess. Yeah. You. Feels good to be in your presence, kid. Come on, let's go. And resolved himself as a faithful partner to all of this. He says, I think the plains are that way. And maybe beyond that last seed that you've been looking for.
I hope so.
And you guys go off where we will then pick it up next week.
That's so good. That was like a movie. That was so good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really, really happy that you enjoyed it. And KJ, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry.
Aww.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode, branching out. Looks like we've got some stuff that's beginning to happen. So let me turn back over to this. Erin, I would no, it's a good thing. It means the story was really good. Oh, KJ, yay! Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Erin, how are you feeling about Bramble and this adventure and Morty and everything else? We're in the after party, so let's hear it. What do you got?
Okay. I think that she felt very inspired by Zara's story. And I think that having like, Zara's not a druid, not a Leshy, none of that. Right. None of that, but still so connected to the earth.
Oh, Zara's not right. Zara's not Leshy.
Yeah. And the earth respects her in return enough to protect her from like prying eyes or like anybody that's coming to like, you know, what's it called when you unbury somebody?
Inter?
What?
Inter? No. Yeah, I know what you mean. Inter is when you put them in.
Yeah.
Vocab, not tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the word where you take them out.
Yeah.
Exhume.
Exhume. Thank you, Victor.
You. So I think that the fact that the earth is taking such care of her and the other riders shows that there are things outside of like created by Nordaga that that respect the earth as much as she does, and that maybe not every single human wants to encroach upon the land. Maybe it's a lot more nuanced than that. So I think she has also a lot of gratitude for how much she has learned about those Royally Riders before actually meeting ones that are alive and could kill her, because they're super neutral in her head, like meaning like it could go either way.
That's exactly what you've heard. By the way, while you're talking about this, if anybody would like to come and join us, Patreon patrons first, raise your hand here in chat. Let me know if you want to talk. I'll then send you out a link. I'll invite you, and then you can come and join us. Then we can hear you.
So I think that she's very grateful for all the information she got, because it's going to help her immensely when talking to them. And also I think she's super fucking excited about how much she has learned on her own. Yeah. From the thing, like, because she used to gather information and people would come to her for like to give information. She didn't go out and get it, so to archive. So the fact that she's first-hand account of like battles being taken place that she can like write about when she goes back home, if she ever goes back home.
Sure.
Yeah, I think she's really excited about that too.
Oh, that's really cool. Is it a point of wanting to KJ, request given, permission given. Check the chatty thing over there, and you should receive the invite over there. Is there a sense of proving yourself that is present, or does this like, no, I'm going to be able to return home and speak from a point of authority rather than a, hey, look what it is that I've done? Like, where does that all go?
Yeah, I think it's a having the story told right. Okay. And I think it's more of a respect for history as it was, and not what the people or the Leshy of Tearful Brag want it to be.
Okay.
And I think that's really important to her.
Okay. Are you ready to talk with KJ?
Yay, KJ.
Yeah, here we go. Hey, KJ, we're going to bring you in. Of course, you're not going to have video or anything like that, but we can hear everything that you were saying.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, can you hear us?
I'm getting things set up. Yes, I can.
There you go. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, hold on.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, now it should be fixed.
There we go. Yeah, we can hear. I think we can hear you. Yeah, say something.
Hello.
There you go. Yeah, you're a little bit low on volume, but I'll repeat some of the stuff. Hi.
Hi. It's cool to actually like officially meet you people.
Hello. I know you guys at home can't see KJ. KJ has been kind enough to turn on their video for us behind the scenes, so we're finally getting to meet another awesome human. So hello.
Oh, I can't see. Darn.
Oh, you can't see? Oh, okay. Well,
No, it's okay.
so yeah, what do you think is about going to happen? Where's this adventure going to lead us?
I mean, I think they're eventually, the two of them are eventually going to complete the mission and like find the seed at the end. But sorry if you heard that sigh, that's my dog being a drama queen because she's not getting attention.
It's all good.
But yeah, I know that now that they have the necklace thing, they're gonna go and approach those people, and I think it's gonna go a lot better because now they have all of the context of like everything that these people went through. So I think if anything does go wrong, they can quickly use the information they learned in this episode and kind of like quickly de-escalate stuff, you know?
It's a good possibility. Yeah. Let's hope it works that way.
Yeah. I mean, either that or like depending on how fast Monty is, Bramble and the little Bramble and Barbara are gonna have to like yeet themselves onto his back, and he just like zooms away like the big dog dragon thing.
Yeah.
Erin, I don't know if you saw it in chat before, but they were likening Bramble to a golden retriever mixed with, what was it?
The Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, mixed with a Cowardly Lion.
Oh, Morty? Yeah, he's got big golden retriever energy. I love him.
So, is there a particular, thoughts on tonight specifically? Was there anything that really stuck out for you?
I would say, you know, in general, I would say I really enjoyed the relationship between Bramble and Monty. You know, you have the more positive, upbeat character with kind of like the curmudgeon, the grump with the big heart, you know. And I would say my favorite part, though, was when they were going through the battlefield and they were seeing all of the soldiers there with each other and just kind of like, you know, putting their arms on each other's shoulder and putting their foreheads together. And like that was the part that really like made me emotional because, you know, I could empathize with them and like the emotion was palpable, you know, and it was incredible. It was very like reverent and very, very well done.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job with that.
Erin,
It was
go ahead.
It was really nice. No, it was nice.
What was in the game, it's difficult for me to see the forest through the trees. I don't understand it. I'm trying to convey something. What was Bramble's most hard-hitting impression of the riders, still not having met any of them?
Like what left the biggest impression for her?
Yeah, or well, you as a player actually in this case.
I think it was the relationship with the rider and his horse.
Okay.
Because that was mentioned before, like, and they're called those royally riders. So there's got to be some sort of like deep respect for horses, or whatever their mounts are. And I think that the horse's spirit stayed with the rider's spirit is very telling of the kind of care that they received in life. And the fact that they also did the forehead thing was just as important. Like, they are just as equal as a human. And I think that was like deeply moving for Leshy, who, you know, has experience with things that are not human.
So in the legend that was told, hey, you guys of course can't see it. I'm the only person who's actually privileged enough to see KJ right now. But right now KJ is receiving a bath courtesy of the doggo. Puppers is saying hi. Or actually, can I show you on stream? KJ, do you want to show up on stream? Hold on, let me see if this is. Hey, there's KJ.
Hello.
Hey, you're appearing in. Yeah, you're.
Oh,
there's the puppers. Hi, puppers. There's the puppers.
That's your Barbara.
That is the Barbara. So, I'm gonna switch back to Erin over here, really quick. When, shit. Now, no, damn it. It came and it went. I saw puppers. And I was like, I gotta see the puppers.
Let's talk about the horses.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think first off, what do you think the writers are going to be like? Do you feel that what you have now is going to assist you in meeting the writers? And is there any kind of a preconceived notion of what the writers are now? Granted, it's been a fantastic amount of time. You don't know what these people are like.
Yeah. I can hear my voice.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. How about now?
Okay.
I just muted KJ.
Nope.
Let me see if that works.
I think no, I'm good. Okay.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah. So I think I get a very like indigenous, like plains tribe vibe, like a plains people sort of impression
Sure.
on the kind of nomadic, grounded, very like earth-centered, very spiritual, communal from them. So I'm really excited. I thought at first, like when I first saw the map, when you were making it out, I was thinking, of course, like Dothraki and
Sure, yeah.
you know, very like, you know, big brutes and whatever. But I think it's more grounded in reality than that. And after hearing very, very real stories of their connection with each other, and Zara, which I believe, I'm gonna wager a guess to say that the way she was buried was inspired by the Scandinavian warrior woman.
Oh,
that you always talk about?
Grave Find PG BJ19.
Yes.
Yeah. No. This is a natural burial. This is someone who died in place and was slowly absorbed by the earth.
Yeah. But the way that you spoke about
the
Zara
reverence,
and the way, it was very much like, it doesn't matter that she was a woman. She was strong. The sword was, or the spear, like the hilt of her sword was heavy and used loved very much. It was the level of importance that you put into how she was left was very similar to how you spoke of that.
If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, back in all the way up until the 1980s, archaeologists, when they would come across a grave dig or something, they would often just see a weapon in the grave and go, oh, that's a man, that's a warrior, and then they would leave, not understanding that certain civilizations would use things in the kitchen, etc. So just because there was a weapon in the grave did not necessarily mean that it was a warrior, ergo a man. So it wasn't until about just it was just a little while after. It was several decades ago that we managed to get some DNA off of this body. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Recently, we got some DNA off of the body, and in a peer-reviewed study, 9 different points of mitochondrial DNA testing on the body actually showed that this person who was buried in this grave, along with sacrificed horses and dogs, as well as the metal remnants of their shield armaments, such as bent swords and spear tips, in full armor, as well as game pieces, which is just unreal, that the body itself was actually that of a woman. And this was from ancient Scandinavia. And then when we take a look at everything that this particular person was buried with, along with these game pieces, I mean, you can't go to Toys R Us anymore. Well, they didn't have that then either. And in order for you to even just make a game piece, you had to sit there, you have to carve this thing out. So these things were valuable, and you didn't want to just toss them into any old grave. So not only is this an irrefutable evidence of a warrior's grave, but also that of a woman from the ancient Scandinavian period. We're talking Viking Age here, so around 800 to about the year 1100 or so. You're also looking at game pieces. And what are game pieces used for? Strategy and the teaching thereof. You're looking at a military commander. So yeah, when we start seeing that kind of a thing, and that tests the notion of what is and what isn't possible for these ancient people, we begin to realize that our own understanding of our ancient history is, we have a lot more to learn. And in this case, it honestly was not influenced by that. What it was influenced by, actually, was you. So
me?
Yeah. Zara's absolutely influenced by you.
Why?
Well, I know you personally, and I'm not going to get into any personal details or anything like that, but I've seen you undergo some things and hear you discuss some things and you end up coming out of it with a fantastic amount of personal strength. And as such, you're my own personal hero in some ways. And so because of that, it was like, I wanted to honor you in that way. So not that it was necessary that it come out in a public stream, but it was my own little personal homage to that. But either way, this is something that's like, yeah, you impact me in ways that are everlasting. And so I wanted to convey that. And I think that the truest of stories that we can tell are those that we understand on a much deeper level. So you were my inspiration for that, and that's where Zara came from.
Okay.
All right, so
ask KJ another question.
Okay, well, all right. So, all right, I have a question for you, KJ. How much do you know about Evindale lore in general? Oh, hold on, I need to turn your mic on. All right, go ahead.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Not a ton. Due to life circumstances, I have, and actually, that and hyper fixating on the little kids book I told you about, I have not had time to read up on all of the lore.
Sure.
But I have kind of a vague understanding, and I'm sort of familiar with the general RPG stuff because I have some friends who are huge D&D nerds, and they tell me about it all the time. So I have a general understanding, and then anything else I pick up is just what I've learned from watching the streams as I can.
So thank you for that. So there's a Erin, I don't know if you can hear echoes. Can you still hear echoes? No? Okay, good. I have one last question for you before we call it a night. This is going out to Erin. It was mentioned in the lore something about this person called Dothari. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm curious. I'm not going to ask if you have a theory and then ask you to explain it, but I'm kind of curious if you have an understanding of who or what this Dothari could be.
I don't. Okay. But I also fixated on the star part of it and the battle part of it.
Yeah, that's
so I saved it somewhere else because I didn't want it to. I didn't know if it was going to disappear, so I saved it somewhere else so that I could do my whole red string theory on
totally cool. Totally cool.
Yeah.
That's all right. So, with that said, KJ, thank you so much for. Hold on, let me get your mic back here. There you go.
Oh, can we shout out KJ in chat too?
Yes, 100%.
You're a streamer, and you're really. I love your coloring, and it makes me feel good. Like you got a really good feel good vibe.
Well,
So
thank you for that. I haven't
we're
seen
gonna
you forever.
it's so good.
So we have here. Let me give a shout out here real quick. This is KJ underscores at 266B, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go. 266.
Thanks for letting me join in.
Absolutely.
I know I'm not I don't have the whole encyclopedia of knowing everything. I know a little bit. I'm just really happy to be included, and it's a really welcoming space.
I'm so happy you think that. Oh God, we just Erin and I just had a conversation today. We were talking behind the scenes in our Discord server. There's been this thread going on in the general channel about the separation between talent and community when you start growing and whatnot. And some people have brought up Critical Role as an example. The community is sacrosanct. The only reason why somebody streams is to share with community. So you have to understand community is it. And if you're false about it, you're kind of thank you so much for the follow. And then you just go back and you start doing your own shit. It's like people aren't stupid. They're going to realize it. And so don't do this if you're not going to be genuine about it. So yeah, it's a genuine love that we all fucking have for the community because we are you. So this is family.
Exactly.
And you don't have to know everything about Evindale lore.
No,
and
hopefully not.
this guy made the lore, and I think yesterday or the day before I corrected him on something. And it's just we are all forever students in everything, and it doesn't matter if you're new, if you've been here forever, if you created the damn thing, you will always find new things that you learn about it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
It's a world. It's got a lot of moving pieces, a lot of living things.
Gonna turn the last comment of the night over to anybody in chat who wants to take it. Oh, wait a second. That was the last name from the show Steve just mentioned. The last name from the show I just mentioned. What show did I just mention?
I don't know what show you mentioned.
Apple is saying literally my goal every week is to get Steve up on Steve. Oh geez. Oh, Apple, you've got 40. It's now 41 years. Oh my God. 41 years I've been doing this crap. Not whatever. Anyway, KJ,
you've been building up your world for 40.
Yeah, it was something like that. Anyway, KJ, you have last word of the night. Go ahead, take it.
Well, I just wanted to say, Erin, that was a really good quote. I literally just wrote it down, how we are always students in everything, because that's a great way to approach life with an attitude of positivity and humility. So that's a great quote.
KJ, thank you so much for appearing with us. Really, really, really appreciate it. Have a fantastic night yourself. We hope to see you again on here soon. But in the meantime, we're going to catch you guys on Wednesday for Kill City Sinners as we start wrapping up. I think there's maybe 2 episodes left to that one. It all depends upon what the players are doing. Don't know. But come and join the Kill City Sinners on Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. on Wednesdays, New York time, Eastern time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. 8 o'clock on Mondays. And you know what? This fucking schedule's down below. You guys know how to do this. Anyway. So we'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Good night, KJ. Mwah, much love. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
You guys have been absolutely amazing. Go out there, stay adorable, love each other, and honor each other in your own special way. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.